Inshallah, Africa, say it louder. Say inshallah. Salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
United we stand, divided we fall. All we need is freedom. All we need is love. Free Africans free. Free Africans free.
Be free, be free, free from slavery. Free, be free, be free, free from slavery. Free, free yourself from mental slavery. Free, free yourself from mental slavery. Free, free yourself from mental slavery. Free, be free, be free, free from slavery. Be free, be free, free from slavery. Yeah.
We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war. We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war. We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war.
Salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, African one. If you wanna be free, the most simplest one in the world. Get yourself the bag of really reggae music coming straight to you from the one of the most peaceful men. So many lying down on the streets, whatever them we are dancing at the ends. Get yourself the most free time I preach about freedom. Preach about freedom.
We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war. We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war. We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war.
Better look on the street as a lesson, youth. Stop violence as a lesson. You have to listen and be a man. The music we are doing is not a music for fun. We are preaching, hear it loud and clear. Ain't night and day, no slipping it out. Better preach, let the people hear. Better preach, let the blind feel. The sound of freedom and love. The sound of freedom and love. The sound of freedom and love. The sound. African one love. In the production. Ethiopia. Salam alaikum. Morocco. Salam alaikum. Libya. Salam alaikum. Tunisia. Salam alaikum. Nigeria. Salam alaikum. Niger. Salam alaikum. South Sudan. Salam alaikum. Sudan. Salam alaikum. South Africa. Salam alaikum. African one
Salam alaikum.
African one love.
Salam alaikum.
Let's unite and be free.
Salam alaikum.
United we stand.
Salam
Divided we
alaikum.
fall.
Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum.
Indeed, salam alaikum. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you tune in. This is Concerned Citizen of South Sudan. It is live. It is August 9, 2025. And it has been a very long time without doing an episode of Concerned Citizen of South Sudan. We welcome all our viewers all around the world, in Australia, in the United States, in Canada, New Zealand, South Sudan, of course, and all entire East Africa. My name is John Cormayol. As usual, we will do this. And tonight, team of UCC here, my brother, Moses Edward, is on the studio, also Ustaz Abdullah Garang and Wendy Marial as well. They will be joining us momentarily, and also we will be joined by Walatak later. This episode actually is going to be in Jenglish, which is Jeng and English, as well as Arabic. Both three, of course, we are trilingual. We will be speaking in English and we'll be speaking in Arabic and we'll be speaking in Dinka. But our target audience today are the Jeng, actually, are the Monjang. That's why we are targeting on this very important episode. As you can see there, President Salva Kiir Mayardit is an absolute dictator. And we will explain to you. We have been talking about this for quite some time. Ranjol Kiir Mayar, a dictator. Absolute dictator. There's so many things happen. But let me tell you one thing. Watch it for some times. Watch it zaman dito da pay. Ko che kada ngamiya rogo en bugbiet. Ache wana tag da ko chi jam. Ache wana tag kulul ko liu. Lakini yelwe la gali akhi. We need to give a chance for so-called Magobeng. I know my brother Moses will know that. As he called Bolmel Magobeng, we want to give him a chance. You remember when he was appointed a deputy of the SPLM party, and then from being a deputy of SPLM party, and then become vice president on economic cluster. It's really faster, like Rihun. ولكن كان معروف إن بولميل وما هو إلا نائب فاعل، ونذر بيعرف باللغة العربية نائب فاعل يتبع الفاعل في جميع حركات الإعراب. هذا هو بولميل. إحنا قلنا يا أخي إحنا نديو الشانس، نديو الفرصة عشان على الأقل we can see هل هو يقدم خطاب قومي يشمل أبناء الوطن جنوب السودان، ولا هو continue بخط بتاعه يستمر خط دين بتاع dictator. ويجي بود بن كير ميار ان تشيلو appointed كوين يشول كي ما go بن in blue follow ولا ين بن كي راوني كوتين كي young maybe بكون ماديج كو new version of South Sudan working toward peace because قضايا بتاعت بلد قضايا بتاعت سلام قبل ما يكون قضايا اقتصادية. That's what we know of. Okay. ولكن للأسف الشديد راني جول بولميل ما هو إلا نائب فاعل جاء تبع نفس الخط بتاع بنكير، خط بتاع فايلن، خط بتاع مشاكل، خط بتاع قتل، خط شوير، خط بتاع خراب، إن خط إنتقوان. and شخصيا زي ما أنا قلت لكم واتر إن بين واي بيت ديتور باي وجاكتين سبب من بيدو كده ويكو بوتين هل ين مثلا لين جام بعدين كو أعمال كين بلوي عشان بباي بمادج بلوي بسلام بلوي can reach out, implement revitalized peace agreement, accommodating those on Tumaini and everyone عشان يكون في سلام ويكون في وئام في البلد عشان يكون في مشاريع بتتنمي في البلد. لأن باي تقول رياض باي تلين باي رانجول كير ميار لين كوشي بولميل as right now نفس الخط انت بين بعض. عشان كده ياكل team of UCC وغابجام تون جين وغابجام تون إنجليزي وغابجام تون جور وغابجام تون عرب كاكابون أبو لادي تنويك. Or anyone that actually want to join our program tonight, you are highly welcome. Wajibu kwa yakol برنامج is going to continue. It's going to continue. Actually زمان نجوم نقول كي جام كنا للأسف الشديد يا ريت لأنه أيلوه قال sometimes give it benefit of the doubt. إنجليزي give it benefit of the doubt. But هنا they know benefit of the doubt. زي ما شو لقوا عن شغل ما جو بني إنه كيرمير شغل ما جو بني ويكبوين فرصة عشان بوكتين وبلوي. لكن جت على كلام فارغ. جت على وما هو إلا نائب فاعل زي ما أنا قلت لكم قبل. ولكن قبل ما نحن نبدأ حديث بتاعنا عشان هو بوك جام. My brother Moses Edward Tau join me from Melbourne, Australia. أجباج من النياب. نيمول نين. أنا قضايا جنوب السودان أجي قضايا كوي نين. Aka wiki buka jami. Kumonjang monjang en majran chol Kiir Mayar en majin ko yet en chol Kiir Mayar ling bay wade lo ke randan dit yes randan dit ci bay tor ko lakin hal bay tal le ran tok wala bay tar ajan biran chol muwatin bilang istiqrar bilang amni bilang iqtisad qawi kubo tek asa wache tek Uganda tek Uganda ben bara ko ba nyaay Uganda can get in, can encourage our land. Okay, hatta even the West. By the way, we are not happy. Kang ruluga yani fi tahdidat biyahsal junub Sudan وكده لأن we have lost kichol sense of sovereignty. Sense of sovereignty achiran chol Salva Kiir Mayar acholu lost. And by the way, kichol monjang ben okay, are very democratic in their nature. Monjang are democratic in their nature. Okay, kutaleo ben pani junub Sudan jeng one likely more than 40%. Kote yin more than 40% kayina cherioj demokratia. Lano 40% kulor bin some alliances bin ke bana logo koy kun kok for instance masalan let's say making alliances with those of Western Equatoria and Eastern Equatoria, you are likely to have vast majority of the country. So Salva Kiir actually it was not, he did not need it to be a dictator. They don't need dictatorship. Lana dictatorship rani we diamond around ضعيف around majority. Lakini in lang absolute majority. Why do we need a dictator? For instance, Paul Kagame now he moved to a dictatorship. Lana cake Hutu are only Tutsi, are only 20% of the population of Rwanda. Right? Only. Rwanda and then Tutsi will not win election. Right? Unless they have to cross the aisle. The same thing for Uganda. The big devil of South Sudan, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Mujtama in bientin, okay? Mujtama dening bientin echol nyankola wala nyankola in bientin, okay? They are only 11% of the population of Uganda. Ashanki de en lawyer be a dictator. Lani yena we bre bani kutalele ka lawyer election ka chili blue win, right? The same thing in Guinea. You know it. That's Guinea president. Absolute dictator. Lani yena dictator min taraz al-awwal. Yen kaman mujtama de bi rent mujtama tini ñoo pay. He cannot win. He cannot win election. But to the Jing, you are not actually supposed to be a dictator. لأنه زي ما أنا قلت لكم الزول اللي بيكون دكتاتور ده زول ضعيف وده زول ما بيقدر. Okay? ما بيقدر ما عنده majority. That's why the Jalaba in the north, they were dictator for a very long time. Because the Jalaba were only 35% of population of entire Sudan. You feel me? You understand my point? You rock a leak. Kuweden leak and she a dictator. Right? Dictator. So we don't have to. We do not have to. Don't make your hadith a joke by Chiriak, top economic Chiriak, security li by Alakat Dawli Aliu, fi Duala Juar, Mal Mujtama Dawli, my United Nations, my West, Woma ila akhirah. Panda Chiriak completely. Okay? Lakin nehna waju ben biat. Biat en chiok biat waju ben biat. Wajibiat kaman zema channel wele shabuk chances bu gam buk tingu bro loy lakini zahir ko ja ache ko lang ko ka gam ache ko itak pan kana ngu bro loy tin wujbi yabda ache ko itak eting liaj eting taban ache ko itak man tin nyot man ajal man nek chok man lob bila nin wako ka nek chok ka diaw kay leg mama en wujgi cham ache dier kiye ke dier ay kin kiye dier amiet ken kiye dier oku bi kweren kiye dier lakin ache dier pan kan na lwel ko le pan kan awok taren war pan kan awok taren ya ka yini tar bayirot na ko jito kwa ke bay tor ache yini tar bayirot tem na yen bay tar chan biya yimbe ben cham of course not ache loy kayen I like it tonight. Please, I want you to share this episode. Loy share achan bu koy kok ku jende real live yakol bi ngi ku koy kok man bi risala da biga ping. Okay, other people who are not watching, they will be able to get the messages. So go ahead and share our episode. We are live simultaneously from Facebook and also on YouTube. So also you can check out YouTube. I know ناس المتربصين المندسين زي ما يقال في بعض منهم بيشوف في YouTube, which is a good thing. They will get our message from YouTube there. So our channel there actually is John Kormayol on the YouTube. You can go ahead and watch it. But before we start this, I want to play a clip. A clip from Ranchol Kirmaya Ran in Japan, University Sudan, Ling Chanbakping. Right? Right now I'm going to play a clip. Everybody can hear that clip. Okay. Let me go ahead.
लेकिन नाले रांडों की बना मोर गई के कोई बात कहने की केवल नरु में नहीं के लेकिन इनके बेटा लोग oh my god आज ही कोई क्या में कोई honorable में योमा के अजन के जाम दिन होते हैं लेकिन के राजा बेची अरे आने यो रांकुई कुसुम बंदा के कुछ के रानी ने कुन्ना अजन पोगल लुई गया Banya jam wer salam da tuy che we ka jara iko we ko yu di la tin che we ka jara iko to mo chi ro ko ke ya mal gata a chin ku ben tong loi zaman tong yi to mar ga ro la ko biya do ku begen e yen tum bu to bu go loi tin to ke pat bi chin an ben tu tong Can the world security? Koi kun jiga no, kam kun. Achina adwele na ya baranje bala gor. Kede koi rotom lage anatu. Achina adwele ya baranje laga na. Nale ke ranun jino ke ganun en tukin tin dia ganun en both chok.
Explore the possibilities on cars.com.
Two things. Not only two things. كذي كيرميا لويل. لكن يعني قبل ما كيو موضوع كن كيو يناقشه. طبعا في مديان كيا ما بيعرف هاي اسم دولة ذاته. أكو كيجول country. They will come here and they will write nonsense because they don't know. Huh? They don't know. عشان كده بنقول زي ما قال Jesus. يا ربي أغفر لهم لأنهم لا يعرفون ما يفعلون. Aci nengika, aku cepat sakit, aku cepat sakit. Kau cilagu erkepot. They will come here and write nonsense, but we are not going to focus on them because they don't know anything. If they do, they mabugul jahil adu nafsu. Rauni ignorance is enemy of it himself, right? That's not going to be our focus today. But before I start my analysis, I will bring in Asad Al Kiram, my dear brothers, Ustaz Moses Edward. Abdullah Garang Kirdeng, welcome to episode of Concern Citizen of South Sudan. It's been a long time. We got you lady to the pay.
Thank you.
Ayera Anchol Kirmaya Luegal Alaka Chirajgop. Ayen in Jimon Jang Rajgop, will Ayen in Chirajgop. Ayera Anchol Kirmaya Luela Alagal Malkatong. Allah Tong Achibin Luel, Alakajibin Thor. Utong Achidep in Nasser. Anak nuer ku nuera wa madokwa junub Sudan nuer makawan asas lil balad jol dawlad sayna junub Sudan. We cannot just do it without our brothers from the north. Country kana biyatasil jami' bae kedaben bae chicken mon jangalon. It's not only the Dinkas, it's not only the Nuer, it's not only the Latuka, it's not only the Taboza or Balanda. Bae kan junub Sudan ben lakin ko ke tin ngi kataman. They will come and say, oh, okay, pandaka kuma down with it because I juhala, I ignorance. But that's not going to be our focus today. Lakini jama ngaji bay li ngadi ci bay raj ngasa ci mon jang raj gop rani ci mon jang raj gop nga Salva Kiir ci raj gop wala yene ci mon jang raj gop mon jang en ci yok be yalla ci wer e mon jang che yok ba ya chwer mon jang che chwer tabia deni de ma chane le mon jang demokrati look ko ñu jalla look la ko look ay look you know ba tari ko kois hatta ran che ben bi ñu look na la ko le watal kan ne ber long ber at the end of the day you know it will come up with a solution too so ena mu chama into fairness okay aje mumkin biran bi tabiye de raj bu ko bena yo la gal ya la ka ci raj gu ko yeen ci koy raj gu so I want to welcome all of you my dear brothers Moses Edward Ustad Abdullah Garang please welcome to Concerned Citizen of South Sudan and I want to give you a chance Moses to go ahead بتعليق تفضل
Well, I greet all of you, my dear compatriot from the United Citizen for Change, UCC, Mr. Chairperson, Ustad Jonkor Mayol, and Abdallah Garang, and all our compatriots, and
معليش
all our audience that are listening on Facebook and in YouTube, and those that will be listening to this episode later or any other time. We greet you, and we are here to discuss the topic above. That is, President Salva Kiir is an absolute dictator, 100% dictator. There are a lot of things that we will unpack here, but let me first start with a quotation. And after this, I will talk in English and in Dinka. So be patient with us. If we are speaking in Dinka, don't jump into conclusion and say, speak English.
yep
And if we are speaking in English, don't jump into conclusion and say, jam to monjang. We will balance whatever we are saying in Dinka, we will summarize it and we'll say it in English and Arabic as well. So bear with us and be patient with us. This topic is a huge topic. It should have even episode part 1, part 2, part 3. So please allow me, Ustaz Jonkor and Ustaz Abdallah Garang, to start with a quote from George Bush Senior. The quote says, and I quote, "Use power to help and serve people. For we are not given power to advance our own purposes, nor to make a great show in the world, nor a name. There is but one just use of power, and it is to serve the people." We are starting with this quote because a dictator is a leader who has power in a country and has not been elected, or has been elected but he refused to call for election for so many years, like President Kiir. Since 2011, since the independence of the Republic of South Sudan, we never had an election. So it is a one-man show. He has taken the power, whether economic power, the political power, and he's serving himself, self-gain. He's focusing on self-gain. So this quote is very important. We know George Bush Sr. was able to lead America, and he even raised his son, George Bush Jr., to be the president. The question, can President Kiir really do that? Can he raise his child even to be a leader like what George Bush has done? With all his dictatorship and bad character and lack of vision and grand corruption, tribalism, hatred, selfishness, greediness, and weakness too. So President Kiir has failed us. He has betrayed the people of South Sudan. He was given the power and now he is using the power to save himself for his self gain.
Mhm.
And for that reason,
Yes.
we have a mandate from the Constitution of the Republic of South Sudan that has given every citizen
Right.
a right and responsibilities. We have duties and responsibilities as citizens. We are not just calling for our rights or the rights of the people, whether economic rights or political rights or social rights or cultural rights. We have a duty and responsibility to defend South Sudan from within or from foreign enemies. So President Kiir has become one of the people that has become a liability to the Republic of South Sudan.
Mhm.
He's causing this, the people and is causing us. He has become a liability. He has used power to save himself and his family as and his inner circle.
Mm.
He is not willing to listen to the people, even some of his members within the SPLMIG.
No.
Let's say those in political bureau or those in SPLM Liberation Council. So this man, all his behaviors are behaviors of absolute dictator. Yanzol in Farad Bekura, Galder Gon, Charles Sulta Bas, Ujarebo. He doesn't know even what to do, how to save the people of South Sudan.
Well, he know how to do. He know how to steal.
Yeah.
Mm.
So we are talking because President Kiir has betrayed the people of South Sudan. And for that reason, we are not here to respect a failed leader, a dictator. We are here to defend, to be the voice of the voiceless in our country. South Sudan, the people and the land is bigger and greater than President Salva Kiir Mayardit. Full stop. So if you think President Kiir is greater than all citizens that are suffering in UNIMIS and in displaced camp and refugees camp, and those women that go to church and pray for food, so God can give them and their children something to eat, or clean water, or to get a medication. If you think these people are not important, it is only Kir Mayadit that would be respected and worshipped because he's feeding you. We can tell you you are just matograph.
Yep.
You are matograph and you are a liability, and your President Salva Kiir is a liability to the country. We want to tell you, the citizen of South Sudan, it is time for us to have a new government, to change this dictator. Yes, overthrowing a dictator like President Kiir has always been a daunting task. It is not easy, but we have potential. We have a cause. We have the truth. And the truth will set us free. We have to say the truth to those matograph that are still supporting Salva Kiir Mayardit. We have to tell you the truth so you can repent and look at the big picture of our country. Look at the people that are suffering in refugees camp in Kenya, in Uganda, in Egypt. Look at our brothers and sisters that are in UNIMIS camp. Look at people that are being bombed with the chemical weapon in Nasser and Wulang. And look at cattle that have been looted from the poor people who depend on their cattle. They are being looted. They are being killed. Look at the people that are killing themselves in Warab, in Tony.
Mhm.
Look at people that are killing themselves everywhere around the country. These people are more important than President Kiir Mayardit. And for that reason, we have that mandate as a responsible citizen to talk and to condemn all the bad policies of President Salva Kiir Mayardit since 2011 up to now, and all the bad political practices that President Kiir and his inner circle have been practicing in our country. So we will talk about a lot of things. We UCC, we are a non-violent political movement. We want to stand with our people, not with the dictator. We want to stand with our people. We want to be on the right side of the history.
Yep.
We don't want to regret in the future. And for that reason, we will tell you why President Kiir is an absolute dictator. We'll tell you the nature of the state that he has established in the country, in Sudan, in South Sudan. He has established a state, a country that is based on ethnic identity or tribalism. But we in the United Citizens for Change, we are campaigning and we are advocating and we are fighting for a country, a state called Republic of South Sudan that will be built and established and created based on the citizenship. So every South Sudanese citizen should enjoy his political and economic and social and cultural rights regardless of their tribe. You should get a job, you should get educational services, health services, because you are a citizen of the Republic of South Sudan. Not because you are a Dinka, or you are a Nuer, or you are a Madi, or a Choli, or Murle, or Sholo. People of the South Sudan, citizen of South Sudan, should enjoy their rights because they are citizen of the Republic of South Sudan. It is their rights in the constitution to enjoy their political rights, economic rights, social rights, and cultural rights without one man like President Kiir depriving everybody in the country of their rights. And then the less understanding government supporters assume that we should all be silent.
Yeah.
Jonkur, you should be quiet. Abdallah Garang, you should be quiet. Makem Agwer, be quiet. Uh, Edward Achek, be quiet. Teresa Jubek, be quiet. All our comrades and compatriots that are campaigning in other platforms, we ask you not to be quiet. Silence, we have said in Concerned Citizen here, silence is violence.
Silent is a violent. That is correct.
Silence is violence. When we keep quiet, when things are going wrong in our own motherland, then we are contributing to violence. But we have to say the truth. Yes, we are saying the truth in love.
Mhm.
We're saying the truth in love, and we are not going to keep quiet. Because silence, when you are seeing injustices and killing, and you keep silent, you are not a responsible citizen.
Mm-mm.
You have even violated the constitution like President Kiir. It is not the president that violates the constitution alone. Even the citizen can violate the constitution. If you have duties to protect your country from a dictator, from injustice, and you don't want to take responsibilities as a citizen, you have also violated the constitution of the Republic of South Sudan. You have no difference with Salva Kiir Mayardit. So we will talk that the nature, we UCC, we don't want to support this country created copy and paste of the old Sudan created by President Kiir based on ethnic identity or based on region. The region to Equatoria, the Upper Nile, the Barkazal, the Kul Kalam Farik. It is all nonsense.
Yeah.
It's all rubbish. We want that thing to be taken out. You get your rights because you are a citizen of Republic of South Sudan. Period.
Correct.
Not because you are a Dinka. So we'll talk about this and so many other things. And we will go back to comment about the speech of President Kiir
Yes.
that he has given in Dinka language. It doesn't matter whether he gave it to people in Warab or Lake State. He was talking to the citizen of South Sudan in Dinka language. And we will explain to you, for those of you who don't know Dinka language, what was President Kiir saying in Dinka language to Dinka people. We will tell you. And we will also talk about other things. Tumaini is dead. We know that. We will also talk about the way forward. How can we overcome this dictator called President Kiir, Salva Kiir Mayardit? So now I will shift to Dinka language just to fulfill the promise that we have just said that we are going to use Dinka language as well. We
Or,
Monjang,
or maybe
Kujunumbin.
can we give Abdullah Garang a chance
Yep.
first?
Okay,
And
okay.
then
Go ahead,
Abdullah.
شكرا شكرا
Salva Kiir
كثيرا.
قال ranchi lead governor ma yenda in auchil instead of Lidzado, right? Go ahead,
ما
Abdullah.
هو ده اول حاجه انا بحييك في الاستديو كونسيرن سيتيزن اوف ساوث السودان، بحيي الاخ مسعود الدوت وكل المستمعين. دائما بريزيدنت سلفا كير ميارديت يعني هو بحاول يخد نفسه as a nonsense person، كانه ما عمل اي حاجه في جنوب السودان. يعني لكن هو ناسي انه هو اساس المشكله، لكن يعني دائما بحاول يطلع نفسه من المعمعة اللي هو فيه ده، بقول يا اخي ديل نازل وديل نازل فهو انسان عجيب جدا. كلام اللي قاله موسيس I want to support you Moses. Salva Kiir Mayardit he fails the country to the maximum. والان الحاجه ده باين للناس كلها، يعني ما دايره، يعني ما دايره فلسفه وما دايره شرح كثير. المواطن الان يعاني في جنوب السودان في كل الجوانب، جوانب اقتصاديه، المستشفيات، خدمات التعبان، ما في خدمات للمواطن، وابناء المسؤولين بما فيهم سلفا كير ميارديت، الوزراء ووكلاء الوزارات والوزارات ابنائهم كلهم خارج جنوب السودان يتعالجوا بالدولار. المواطن يعاني في كل الجوانب. الجانب التعليمي، التعليم انهار في جنوب السودان، انهار تماما. ما في يعني تعليم يواكب انه التلميذ او المواطن بتاع جنوب السودان ده يقدر ينافس في المستقبل على المستوى الاقليمي وعلى المستوى المحلي. لانه التعليم كلها تعليم تقليدي، ما تعليم متطور. عشان كده انت بتشوف ابناء المسؤولين كلهم قاعدين برا في كل الجوانب. الدوله انهارت، الناس ما بتصرف رواتب سنه سنتين بما فيها الاجهزه الامنيه. جيب لي نموذج بتاع دوله واحده المواطنين ما بيصرفوا رواتب for 2 years, no salaries for 2 years. And I am wondering, there are many people still saying that President Kiir is the best choice and he's the best president. I don't know. I don't know what their problems. They don't see how people of South Sudan are suffering. هم ما شايفين. أنا دائما بستغرب. فالدولة الآن في ظل الرئيس سلفا كير ميارديت انهار، وهو السبب الأساسي. لأنه زي ما قال موسيس أدوات he running the country one man show. هو رئيس البرلمان، هو رئيس الوزراء، هو قائد الجيش، هو وزير الصحة، هو الكل في الكل.
نعم.
مسك بعض المواقع المهمة اللي فيها ريسورس وأحمل بعض الوزارات، لدرجة إنه في وزراء في مستشارين ما قادرين ذاته عشان يوصلوا لبريزيدنت.
Even when they بيعمل appointment and they cannot even meet with the president that appoint them.
Yes, he is a dictator.
And here some retarded people will come here and say, "Girl, we are sitting outside criticizing." We have to speak the truth. We have to do civic education. If you don't know it, go ahead.
Yes, he is a dictator, like Moses Edward said. الدولة كله في يد رجل واحد. ما في مساحة للإبداع في إدارة الدولة، لأنه لما يدوك الحرية، لما يدوك المساحة، أنت كموظف بتقدر بتعمل مساحة للإبداع. إبداع مثلا في الطرق، إبداع في إدارة الدولة، إبداع في إنشاء مستشفيات، حتى على المستوى القطاع الخاص. لكن ما في مساحة. حتى السفراء، أنا كنت بتكلم مع واحد من السفراء قال لي للأسف الشديد نحن والله يا أخي بقينا مضحكة، ده سفير.
يا
لأنه التقارير اللي نحن بنرسلها والبرامج اللي نحن بنعملها في الخارج بنجتهد بنرسل للدولة، لكن للأسف الشديد في ناس هناك موجودين على حاجة ده كير، والإدارة حقه بيشيل حاجات ده بيدعوه في الدرج
جاربج،
فضل جاربج.
وما عارفين ذات أهمية سفير شنو.
طيب أنت ليه ذاتك ليه بتعين سفير إذا كان أنت ما بتقرأ التقارير بتاع السفراء، ما بتدفع الرواتب بتاعت السفراء، ليه بتعين سفير؟ ما في داعي انك يعني بتعين سفير. you know so الحاجات دي كلها بيرجع للكلام اللي قاله موسيس. Salva Kiir Mayardit is a dictator and he fails the country. To be honest, people of South Sudan, they have to know this. There is no future for South Sudan under administration of Salva Kiir Mayardit. ما في. كل يوم نحن بنفشل، كل يوم الدولة ماشية للخلف. فالمواطن في جنوب السودان الآن الكورة في ملعبكم، لازم تفكروا إنكم تلقوا طريقة إنه الناس تطلع من هذه المعمعة، لأنه سلفا كير himself will not, believe me, will not add anything to South Sudan, will not do anything. ما في. he just care لطاقية بتاعه وبعض الوزارات فيه قروش،
مالية، بترول،
وزارة البترول، وحتى المجموعة اللي حوله. يعني هو في القروش طبعا بتمشي لثلاثة مكاتب. في قروش بتمشي للجيش في شهر 88 مليون دولار. ده ميزانية بتاع القوات المسلحة في جنوب السودان SSPDF. 88 مليون دولار is going to military. لكن 88 مليون دولار بيطلع من بنك السودان لما يصل لإدارة الجيش، لما يوصل من بنك بتاع جنوب السودان، لما يوصل للجيش 88 مليون بيصل فقط 15 مليون دولار. الباقي ده وين؟ مشى في النص ما معروف. والحاجات دي ظهرت وين؟ ظهرت في تسليم وتسلم بتاع رئيس الأركان السابق بول نان لرئيس الأركان الجديد داوا ترجم. وبول نان يعني هو طلع إنسان شفاف وزول ما كوربشن، وقال كل شيء في الترابيزة للرئيس سلفا كير ميارديت، وأشار للناس اللي بتلاعبوا بأموال بتاعت القوات بتاعت جنوب السودان SSPDF. لكن كير هو ذاته عارف القروش بتمشي وين.
he knows.
وما عمل أي أكشن.
he knows.
وما عمل أي أكشن. برضو في فساد كثير نحن ما نتكلم الآن فيه. يعني التفاصيل بتاع التسليم والتسلم بتاع غيار بتاع الجيش لرئيس الأركان الجديد فيها تفاصيل بجد مخجل، ودي كير ساكت عليه. أنا داير أقول للمواطن الحاصل في جنوب السودان، أنا ببسط لك بصورة بسيطة جدا. قطر واقف في المحطة له 15 سنة، كل مرة يقولوا هنا يصينوا ما بيتحرك، ما بيمشي لقدام. لكن بدل ما انه الناس تفكر انه يجيبوا راس قطر جديد عشان يجر الصناديق بتاع القطار، الناس بيمشوا بيضربوا الصناديق بتاع القطر، بيضربوها بوهية
بوهية.
اصفر جميل وشنو، كل يوم بغيروا البوهيه بتاعت الصناديق بتاعت القطار. القطر بيتحرك كيف؟
ما هتتحرك.
القطر
بوهية.
بيتحرك كيف؟
بوهية will not change anything.
You have to change the head.
اشيكلو بوهية.
بوهيه ما بعمل حاجه.
مم.
المشكله يا جماعه ما من صناديق القطار، المشكله من راس القطر.
راس القطر.
راس القطر ده لازم يشيلوه برا ويجيبوا راس جديد عشان يجر صناديق القطار. وراس القطر ده هو سلفا كير ميارديت.
اكيد.
جنوب السودان ما هيمشي. اعتبر انه العشر ولايات دي صناديق القطار. راس القطر ما شغال. قطر هيمشي وين يعني؟ ما هيمشي اي محل. معلش انا شايف ولا تاك قاعد يتصل علي، انت ممكن تعمل له موسس، اعمل له رساله يجينا في الاستديو.
خليه يجي في الاستوديو. هاي
القطر ما هيمشي اي محل، وده اللي حصل. الان البلد بقت فيها تفلتات سياسيه، امنيه. زمان الكورب الناس اللي اكلوا قروش بتاع جنوب السودان بيركبوا الفيات، يعني امورهم كانت كويسه. لكن يا جانكو الان الفيات الناس دي بقت ما عندهم ذات وبنزين يكبوا فيه الفيات. and that is good. بقوا بيتحركوا في الشوارع، بيمشوا في الشوارع. الان بقى في قلع. كنا زمان بنسمع في بعض الدول الافريقيه الان انتقلت لجنوب السودان. في قلع، حقك ده بيشيلوا، تلفونك بيشيلوا، بهجموك في بيتك. كم من الحوادث حصلت في الاسبوعين اللي فاتت؟ نهب. حتى كبار اعضاء الامن في جنوب السودان بيوتهم نهبهم، حراميه دخلوا في بيوتهم، وليوم الليله ما لقوا شنو؟ ما لقوا الحرامي. لايك فريق كامل نائب مدير الشرطه لشؤون بتاع التخطيط دخلوا في بيته. ما في امن في غرب الاستوائيه. في شهر 8 يوم 1 ويوم 5 في حوادث بتاع قتل حصلت. ما في شيء، ما في رياكشن من الدوله. فانا داير اقول الدوله سقطت، والان سلفا كير ما يقدر يجي الحلول. الحل لازم يكون توتال، حل جزئي ما بيجيبه. فانتم شايفين الان مشى جاب بولمن من غير استشاره بتاعت الحركه الشعبيه as a one man show.
good point.
as a رجل الدوله الواحد اختار منو اللي يخطوا في
انت عارف
في المكتب
سماه بولميل منو؟ سماه منو؟ النيك نيم بتاع بولميل اسمه ماغو بن. هو بناديه كده ايه لو يا ماغو بن which is mean that
يعني ماغو
يا بن
يا
ماغو بن كو ينا تي بن مش
ده انغاكي
ku dul bar gazala ci cham ku dul panale ci cham how bajala mago ban akire ne chol kya
what he done in South Sudan عشان بقى what he done in South Sudan عشان يدو سلطة. what he done
واصل.
حتى الطريق بتاع بار غزال هو فشل فيه، ما قدر يمشي فيه ولا 100 كيلو. عمل شنو؟ you know حتى the man when he talking it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. ما رجل استراتيجي.
ما قاعد اللي ناس في عيونه ما شوار داي من يجي تينين شوار يمن داي بين شوار يجي وينين لأن
do you know President Salva Kiir أنا أذكى منه you know يعني sometimes he can make sense. لما كان في عمر بتاع بولميل he can make sense, he can talk you know. لكن بولميل الآن في عمره ده it doesn't make any sense. أنت عشان تبقى الرجل بتاع الدولة لازم تفهم تتكلم تحس المواطن بالامن. انت داير شنو تعمل شنو مثلا في الامن القومي، في زراعه، في شنو لكن ما ممكن بس تمشي تعمل لك مشاريع وتجي تقول لا الا يعمل بشركه حقانا. ما ممكن تمشي تلبس لك ساعه يعني ثمنه اكثر من $500,000 بولميل مشتري ساعه لابسه في انا شفته في اللقاء مع ولد بتاع موسيفني. الساعه لابسه ده ثمنه اكثر من $500,000. جاوا من وين؟ انت ما بتخجل؟ انت قبري ناس ما قاعدين ياكلوا، ناس جعانين في اويل ده. خلي باقي الولايات في اولاد الناس تعبان، ما في اكل، مستشفيات تعبانه، موظفين ما صرفوا
خليك اقول بندين
الرواتب
مضول
حقهم.
بندين مضول بندين
You know.
ديارة تعبانين علم. خليك من انتهر اقول مضول only his own hometown.
هل جنوب السودان ده بلد الرئيس يلبس فيها ساعه ب 600 ولا 500 مليون دولار ويتباهى؟ You know. انت قبل قلت وصف جميل جدا انك شبهت بولميل بنائب الفاعل.
نائب فاعل.
انت عربي كويس يعني. نائب الفاعل في اللغه العربيه يتبع الفاعل في جميع حركات
الاعراب.
اذا كان ضمه معناته ضمه، اذا كان فتحه فتح،
كسره سكون.
وسلفا كير هو النائب الفاعل. الفاعل ده لما يمشي هو هيتبع شنو؟ اوتوماتيك هيتبع الفاعل.
ايوه.
He
نائب
thinks
الفاعل
that he
هيتبع
will
الفاعل.
stay in legacy of Salva Kiir Mayardit. But people of South Sudan will throw him out very easy. People don't like him. He doesn't have nothing to offer to people of South Sudan. He doesn't. He will not gonna stay. So الناس اللي بيحلموا انه بولميل هيكون بن ويخلف كير، والناس بيقول له انتم معقوب بن، you know. الفاعل هيمشي مع الفاعل.
سلفا كير بولجولا معقوب بن.
No, ما جس هو ما دار
ان بولميل جولا معقوب بن. which is mean ما هو طبعا of course واضح على اساس انه جابه من وين؟ جابه from nowhere as a director of ABM. okay. director بتاع لانه هو كان managing director بتاع اموال بتاع سلفا كير. he was a broker لانه اويل لما يباع بيمشي لبولميل، ومن بولميل بيطلع قروش بتاع سلفا كير بتاع الشركات بتاعه. اوكي. ففي النهايه جابه قريب لانه زول اللي بيحفظ املاكه. اوكي. من ما كان home away، ومن ما كان serving wine, serving food and all these things to بن and bringing you know mistress لبن، انه ده is going to be good. احسن انا اقربه ونعمله ايه؟ ونخد في political bureau، ومن political bureau ذات نعمل نائب ذات بتاع ديوبيتي بتاع SPLM. This is the only way that broke you know the cycle, instead of being fair to his colleague within the SPLM party. Salva Kiir absolute dictator زي ما نحن قلنا الليله ده. He destroyed the SPLM party. He destroyed everything. السيستم اللي في دوله السودان الجنوبي ده ما عارفين what kind of system. اوكي. لانه هو ما حاكم كحزب، ما SPLM. He kicked out everybody. The most smart one, he didn't want them. The smart young one like Paul Kolkodi and all these didn't want them. He need the dumbest people. زي ما انت قلت قبل انه اساسا سلفا كير is smarter than Bolmel, and that's true. That's true actually. He is smarter than Bolmel, and Salva Kiir will make sure he cannot bring somebody smarter than him.
لا هو بس داري يجيب ناس بس اللي بقول له كل وي بين، you know.
فانا في نقطه عندي اضيفه قبل ما ندي فرصه لموزيس. you know في القصه اللي احنا ناقشناها اول امبارح يا عبد الله. you know تو موانجان ايلو كيراني لا بتوده بعدين بتوده اجورچل ايلو جورچل بلاندا وفراتيف دل اغوغ ايجام لكن مونجي nga jaay na agogo checham, right?
Yes.
Ke na le la patude la wow na le la patude ke na bopin ji chwal. Okay. na le pin ji chwal patude ajurchul ayena chi chong no ka pay jan, you know, it was so hungry. Go jan legen nasib yak yi na sin ji ben mo nyan kai lakin wo kang bana itok kene radun kene ji tal ba iten yakol agog badin ji tal ajin gidet in cham ku yin kan ci mu da gok ke yena ta choja ya gu ajur chol ga yogen ke apato de choja re yu gu bugloy, right? Wala la khalas we ken ani che chora gok lakin we bay ka chwai bay ka chwai
bi yen chwai agok ko ci ko ring agok
go try go be nin ala try abi nin. Of course ko patu de zar they are smart go try be chit china go de alem le ku chen try gen ke yob ku chen china go gen chwet, and then it's okay ku bit. The reason I brought that thing up ngulwelan masal kan danin jol Salva Kiir Mayardit. Okay. شرعيه رين حكومه متين legitimate رين حكومه legitimate مودي شي بيجي
شرعيه بيقولوا شرعيه دستوريه
tariga rile na kuma dusturi
Sharia Dusturia.
ya sharia dusturi ngudi chibichir anje chora go fini go ben chwet kulela ben chwet chaya go dek why lanu revitalize peace agreement en cher yak ma char dom lele ku cher yak ma char en tifi united house arrest chen cholen refi united sharia that isn't a win jai revitalize peace agreement win jai yak ma char en ran en chiwek salam tani okay en chiwek salam tani kuelela ale I am
هو قاعد في سلطه بالشريعه ذات اتفاقيه ده.
I am implementing peace agreement. What peace agreement are you implementing it? My Riyak Machar is principle of is a signatory of that.
ينظر
Okay.
ينظر انا برضو مستغرب جدا. الان هم قاعدين يتكلموا قال عن انتخابات بيسهو. اذا كان الشريك الاساسي بتاعت الاتفاقيه المفروض كان يكون جزء مشارك في الانتخابات. انت مدخل السجن، انت داير تعمل انتخابات مع منو؟ It's better for Salva Kiir to announce himself as a winner for the election and let those who following him to wear red shirt, you know, and go and celebrate, and that's it.
Yeah.
They don't need to waste time of the people, to waste money of South Sudan, you know. He just need to announce himself as a winner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nukta that you be in bifu, nukta tana and the bifu. The nukta betat iflas. Lana bias hasn't by chulu collapse. By chulu collapse. When Kialu Monjang, I would do Salva Kiir yet. Whether and did whether and in Gitor. Yes, we give him respect. Like not to stand by Briak completely. Lana bias a Kiria completely. Yet you create by financial institution in Wudia. Lano by a bank, central bank of the country, which is Central Bank of South Sudan. I'm not economist. Moses Baden, he's economist. He can elaborate more on that area. Like in Canada, Bank of South Sudan is the bank of the banks, the mothers of the bank in the country. Yeah, and if we have commercial banks in South Sudan, commercial banks where can be Ayakata Bank in South Sudan. Okay, let's say you have KBC, which is commercial, Equity Bank, Ngadidit Bank, Bunuk Tijaria, right? Where can I get a bank in South Sudan? Okay, Kiyakaloi 90% of their capitals. Yeah, good. Let's say KCB telling $10 billion. Kati bank South Sudan. Which you get $10 billion can you for operation for just businesses? Because you could be working now. Okay, Kichiyakuma loy land because Koiga Achekola Nintayuk. Koiga Baz Kalanchiko, but the name of Kulekala, Wario Pagere, Wario Nana, Wario. But you know, right now. We are right now.
Wario Kambala.
Me did 2005 meeting Alan Guntero. They don't know even about the liberation struggle. Okay, so kichi lawyer thing ya Abdullah ya Moses. I chillatin bi will be kika kwal. We o ya like ton. Na chi we ya kwal kalatin bi ala den. Kika kuma zato. They go and borrow money from where? We to jar, we with a commercial bank. I can borrow from central bank. So they force governor of central bank we will now will governor watching where you then we read and I will tijar kole bay ke kabu bay what you will be kabay nen ubey to hasi and big bay central bank governor because in a huge position there he can lend the money so what happened at the end of the day late KCB wala bunuk didun get by one commercial bank the lake even we welcome ko we ka Muatin, au koi ata koi zar koi tofia kuma. Fi nas tofia kuma directors winga they did. Well, can I chicken banyat bunuki? Why? Lan in the bean bank kule we will kule we aliu. Lan we are you kuma nyai. Tenet central bank. Kwa kid doctor shouldn't the commercial bank. So it created mistrust. Because you get kuma izatu. Lana Kieke work and pull bigger by. It's not because they want to overthrow the government. No, it's not. Lana can you for Tumar, they tijar, take a work and pull by. Kujalam work and pull by. A can we be below overthrow. Like that's not the case in our country. It's because Kikarjot Lan work and the Legacy Bank Bunuki, Kachila Yok, the lady bent the Chimo twine, we bayat Nairobi, we bayat Hin, they like $1 million Masan Shantabi, the Ali, you go mind the Grush. Mind the Grush Zol Betakayan. That's why people are putting their money, in their houses. Any buy, it will collapse. وكان
ما
كان
جنكور
دقيقه بس خلينا نكمل البوينت ده. كان شكله
أي.
ريزولف شكله ريزولف بقال زمان كنا في اس بي ال ام. نو كده لو ريزولف بعقل
Yes.
بحلول بتاع political crisis كي تبعي. Okay, that is how you can resolve that problem. But cake they are not interested. أيه كلو يمكن لكن بروار لكن أجيرو وار جمان كوني على كو جن idiot دكتن you know why يساوي اثنين ما بيساوي ثلاثة.
Yes.
Always حتى في sign there is an equation توجين وال بلوي and then لهم معادلة this plus this بديك ده penicillin نتوام كجوجن ولا كلوركوين نتوام كجوجن لملارة وتايفود ده. There is a formula for it. The same thing there is formula in economy. Actually, loy be numril bad wa nyu bad jeewon gule yak lo bay cheke got gulo bay won abi we oil nyaka bi jeewon bu ben tek. It doesn't work that way. Get a by chill military, you know, the way they're doing it. So in order for that thing to be resolved, illa يكون في شنو؟ يكون في political solution، يكون في سلام، يكون في استقرار، يكون في حاجات دي. يا عبد الله ويا موسى بس عشان خلاص نجيب من هنا. Do you know Jema Nunu Kumba? Jema Nunu Kumba, the speaker of the house, the speaker of the parliament. انتوا عارفين البرلمان بتاعنا كويس تو في البرلمان بتاعنا 18 members 18 members for the last year. Rantiaku betke member of parliament I thought. The last meeting in Chijam and Kumba Loika Kir. Actually, Mr. President. Oh, Gualang allowances. Allowances, bedel elaj.
أقوله بدلات.
Badalat, you know, Kulu Sana, member of the parliament, $30,000. $30,000. Talata Snin, Rungat Diak, member of parliament, they haven't received anything. Which is mean, $90. Yeah, a member of parliament, $90. Akulare, Wakadaga Yinke, Abdallah. They give them 1,000. Galka Kika allowances. 1,000 Kika allowances.
They deserve because they accept it. They هم قبلانين
they are so desperate. Ma yanku yibalwela kuma kan zado even within the government. Ko ga ja kuma kan gamza la kalu ka kuma kan zado they are suffering. Kwen ken mo jang tiyela why would you accept that suffering? E wedngo. E ngungu gamini be ata ban bi luak le daraja shirka na. Yani wew ken we parliament tizain $1,000 le kullu fard ma gligo dug $1,000. $1,000 da emshi ala jak baden koyka ke toga koy ke to parliament they are advanced in their ages koy dit akoy ngwen 60 70 kamso 70 sana akoy ngwen they need na wije inaya more wije lajat lan yinde cin maral kan do fi sukari fi diabetes fi ngadidit fi kalam farek you know kati ciran job ya mun jirgo ya tandit mashakala katir ko ya ka lela gala wallahi waye Salva Kiir kin boyada Salva Kiir wi tiok ka bay. That's what he has in his mind. Now, Achak Ping Yomen, Nas Troika Talo statement in new 14 days, a week of Yang Machar Blue release. Ya Abdallah ya Moses. Ya Magula. Fida can't Yang Machar Day, the Khalifa Harasa. Le. Fida Mazan the Jibjes with a Yogan in another Bakwana Finasa, the Robert Gunship, a when which you knew Loy. Gurubusuran can Magul look who wake up Pandao without anyone else. Ma just common sense, Yani. Common sense. You know, for them, I go to Kir, Kujala Bolmel, nothing. And I was watching actually from the beginning when some of them cook show low for a very long time. Bolmel is going to have a unified message at least. It's going to talk about peace. It's going to talk about economy. It's going to talk about reconciliation. Like in a lax, it become violent like Salva Kiir. That's what it is. Rana look when can again good thing. I see a thing. ما عنده
زي جنكور يعني انت ذكرت حاجات كتير مهم جدا. الحاجة الناس ما عارفينها الدولة ده بالفعل الدولة دي تحولت إلى دولة فاشل. you know انهارت الدولة أصبحت دولة فاشل لأنه إدارة الدولة ما مفهومة what is going on even المواطن ذاته مغيب تماما you know عشان كده نحن في UCC سكتنا شوية قلنا يا أخي احتمال النازل يعملوا تغيير ينفذوا السلام يعملوا كده في الفترات الفاتت والناس اللي كانوا بهاجمونا ليه انتوا قاعدين تتكلموا في بولميل من باي وين من أول no you know yes نحن بنقول لكن مصلحة بتاعت جنوب السودان هو اللي بيجمعنا.
South Sudan
You
is
know,
not about Madinga Ul. South
ما
Sudan,
أنا ده مدينة أول. You know, people of مدينة أول
they are
دايرين
part of South
الرئيس، دايرين الرئيس اللي يكون رئيس في جنوب السودان وهم يعيشوا بحياة كريمة، عندهم مدارس، أبنائهم يمشوا مدارس، يكون عندهم طرق، ما يكونوا عندهم مشكلة في نقص غذائي. ده الرئيس الدايرينه، ما الرئيس يكون مثلا من البلد والرئيس كرب ناس جعانين ويمشي يلبس ساعة بأكثر من $500,000. He doesn't appreciate, you know. So أنا بجيب لحد هنا وهنمشي بعدين يعني ندي موسس وهنجي بعدين نعلق في موضوع بتاعت القرار بتاعت الاتحاد الافريقي
Troika.
وبعض دول الترويكا في جنوب السودان. الموضوع اعتقال التعسف لرياض مشار في منزله، واعتقال بعض السياسيين وزراء ونواب بتاعت حكومات في الولايات. يعني الحاجات دي الان في هنالك تحديد من اتحاد افريقيا هنيجي نتكلم فيه بعد شويه. ف بدي المايك للاخ موسيس وانا بطلع بمشي عشان نقدر ندخل ولا تاني. Thank you. I will come back soon.
لك مويه زاد وتعال.
All right.
تفضل Moses. Moses, go ahead. Is your opportunity.
Well, we have promised you. We have promised you that we will also speak in Dinka language. I just want to say what I have said in English, in Dinka language. Yen kio jamaten buga ben buga jam moko jechol United Citizen for Change. Me the pane junub jipon mat big panden gel kechireje kao ko jwe ko liwoten ayokulwel bain da Kiir Mayardit ache banya chituet e bain nyop anyopo kwa nyop kwa che bai rach kwa korbuto toji kubi political power vacuum, political vacuum wenang ke lokoi ke cheliu yen e kulwel Kiir achu yegrier o junubin achu yegrier bo kum rier kena achulum ke tiej ben koi tat.
Yep.
Akilum ke chin ben koi luoy ukinya cha kwen ke chi George Bush chelwel elwel power na chi yegi ben ke lum ke chin bin koi luoy bin mi the bai diar kumit kurodit shabab kurana ban to bai fi dola ba luoy ba piren ba chokpin be mi bin nang ke cham achen mi de lo sukule ji ke nek chok achen ke la de facility.
Yeah.
Mi the Junubi man, I lost sukule question Kato Yaji. Na lo me sukule to chingle date in Usas. Usas ya neck chok. I can get him. Few are can you watch by. Usas the chen mayor. Usas the poy is a burako qua dear. Nadu by a la meet cabla yoke and neck chok. Kuting there, chen watch and young and near be me lock that. When I know you can, because ya Louis Majan. Ekir Mayadit. Lanu yen, I no mar. Power, rear chi yege on, min 2005, a good man, almost 20 years. A chen mar, a chilum, kay a th, and again quite that. Wakilum, kay chin, ben by loy, ben by coin. A jukoi do chok, we are chok and a coin. A shen book a jar lotinian, book I can your lala took. Kubajang al, beranaban jalim. A chiran chipuch, watching villager, watching Rano, Tujar, Ranaban a lolim, Tenekir Mayadit. Could you pour me at? Kekor, and because you ban, because you look. Kayen Ekulel wake one jam. Ben Kir Mayadit. a che tuet che ba nya che tuet cha ga ju be lo pan man cha ga lo pan man ko a bu tuk Junub Sudan ko to chok ko to twan a che jwe jarit ye na pot ba Salva Kiir Mayardit ko ti yin mon jang nearby che men ye constitution ni Junub elwel yin mo te ni Junub Sudan na pot ba yin ye ba gel bagel ko bo roki kena ko ku bagel ran to hot rej bai che men Kiir Mayardit rej bai cái chuyện kiến chỉ có để chụp quyền ra đó cái number one chuyện ô muốn giang hóa chứ ni mà muốn giang ter ra nè qua nhé bánh ran nông canh cái điạc pi đề ran chơi chuyện if you look at all Dinka leaders there are three criteria one you must not be a thief
Yep.
Dinka have never elected a thief
It has to be trustworthy.
lano ye gwa nyi even bany ko maj bae men ko ya lama tit ko lama chol lazim bayaran wen che chwar ka ye jeng kwan ke ye bany lekin kire po chwar ko jarir ke bit ku ka chen ko po le ab ko ga chwer lano yin di yin chwar yin che ran do yo ga yin ni che chwer
Yeah.
a chen chwar do yo ga yin ni che chwer so we'll be throw la ben a chi ka kwal kwa chi ka tao Dubai kwa chi ka tao beng Kenya ko beng Uganda madam bi ka be bi shirka loy masna zed masna sabun create ben bi loy ku bi pur be koy wen chen skill bi gala lui dumi ku yika meya or bi gala lui masana ku yogran wo ben ka mit ko muk
Yeah.
ka chiran jam a kira jala banye barana ju kang dur nom ko ne che monya gar randen Lagos State e chol mabor general mabor chen jama ke ju bayar ya kala ko kum kwa de chol mon kumen bay
Yeah.
Kiir Mayardit e yin ka ja chol mon ni chi chol mon na ja wor wo junu ba cham ka for 20 years we na chi kwet e ye jeng lwel men chi koy mu ka kor men ke ju gu be che wa ke ju gu be ru da pot ku cho ta ba ni ka lo ba ni chwar ke kan gu man ku un e ki na chi gu man
Man
ku
ki
un
moy
ba
bu
ngo
kwet. Ay ko
be
len
a kwet ta ma be cham
man ki moy bu kwet.
men cái gì mua gặp pot tên
Ah.
ô cái cô lên men cái gì mua gặp pot cô cho
Ah.
cái giấc bán cái chuyện cái lệ trắc của corruption của fasad của năng coi na jamin cô lên cái này cho quay cái này so giếng ô cái chuyện gì mà muốn giang cho ra chỉ quan của kia mà này cho ra lôi ở cho chứ coi can dom phi bida cái ran pot nào chứ thuần cái cho qua cha cái chuyện quán na coi rier chi ya cái power cái này chỉ lo mẹ tie cái coi yu việt cái coi nok Yemen chike Zai Abraham knock. Yemen chike wall gog chike knock. Yemen chike Samuel dong chik knock agri dris. Iban majur ton majur to Kiir Mayardit chin general majur dak
Yeah.
because na chi nyelwe manage. Mure chen kin again. Eke chang nuer chuto fi nasr. Eke chang nuer chi knock fi ulang. Eke chang koi kwok yorul chen wok en pay kwa chicken knock recently. Eke chang tony Kulwan jang koi na rut fi warap ke chang abie wer ne ke rut ke ko ye chol twij Mayardit ka lo rut ka ban a chen kire chu no mar ban chi ye ga be koi maj ku be koi gel we ko ku
Yeah.
ka pir ko ke be ka gel a chen ko no mar ku le a focus pir nom de tok ten ku mit ke so ben kire chu tuet ku chwar ko ye o ga che ku mu ko ye chwer ran ye jen kwan ter eran che turu lwet Ekinero. Kiir man ko jabu man yin kulel, I will not take the country back to war. Kwa logu bije Uganda. Kwa logu mo Malaysia do.
That's cool. Good question.
Kwa loko ibo getir fi warab even wilaya de yen ko la mo yetir.
Kuelwela galka in jiraj gop.
Kena ba be lo play, you need to play it back again. You need to play it back. So
I can play
jen
it.
ter
I can play it.
chuan kuran to luet kuran chenyin ti ko nyo ba che mo jang kwa nye ba.
Chala we play it and be pink.
Yeah, you play it ashan na
Hey, let me that jit.
Midajita yung gagachili ko bitu binyay kay. Sobrang kuren pare ngal ka min baka ka naman.
Loy pause it na. Loy pause it na. Yin ben Kiir Mayardit ina jam junubin ako riyo. Yung che junubin riyo, che ko riyo ke di ko yin ka jira loy elit junub Sudan yin ka ko no.
No, chelit. My lead is better. Lead gedang Moses. Lead la gob war challenge. Lead ben wir river bi rej bi nyaay. Lead la hong masar fi forest. Lakini which will you remember when we were kids? Panmonja.
Yeah, ko gopchen.
Which will ko gopchen.
Anyi chwil yen.
Balang gilemat ka bibe ichi ni mantini nyot baluk diaw. Ring tin rej ni ne gobe ichi. So yeah, now which will is not lit.
Yen ben da Kiir Mayardit ke ku lagi ki o ko to concerned citizen or United Citizen for Change. Aye ku lel yin in a rear in a diga one ke chola one kana is in your blood. Huh?
Mayini monya wanasa.
Atorium do it is in your blood. E yin ke lit yin ka nyi chwil e kan gop yin chu wo ya la cha gop junubin chen kurian ka roki tim dun le yin ka chamsin Uganda ku Dubai ku dol Jawar taban ke cho la nyi chwil ku gop ko do chi cham tin ne chen gop sin e ha roki
Yab nyal bela jam
e ha la to do yin ben Kiir Mayardit wo
welcome Ustaz will attack
ben wall in a honorable wall you are highly welcome in a chumot.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You know, you go wo jam ben Kiir junubin yo gal ko ja ya ryo gal anong anyi chwi la jiben
Look again you go Kiir ka uchwil lan li
mento mi da ji da gop ke aji da ben aja kad ku mi da diru la to ya ne junubin cho la ryo ke o ke che ko ryo ngu che ko ja ryo yin ben wol denga ta u jala yin ben jongor ku we ko ipien ma yen Kiir da do ka nyi chwi le ka na ko ke ko kat ngupal ranjidi honorable wall bejal from parliament of South Sudan be banayer che werin Kiir da to ke lit akor be wall nok fi Blue House
ahlan bek Ustaz Abdullah one more time.
yeah kwa kor bu ko joy no yeah akor bu ko joy no kwa chu ko joy no yen Kiir so yen da to ben Kiir ke ye ko kat junub Sudan yen kan na ko yen ka ni chwil I think yen ke which will wala ye chol mutene koy ko
ayo kulel ka uchwil bargaza
which will so is the eagle that people the chicken are scared of. It is not the other way around.
Yeah.
Ulel junubin cheke jar yo ke de kuina chi Blue House lo instead bin madaris for lo you have riverside te yen koy machin koy ko gan nagin ka I think achiran pod kai ran chi lo chimna kol kor kalo mo je doj ka bai pande ka mit ka ran chi luo chimen malong awan ka chobror ba bejal belare roki ran chi luo chimen tilaring ka chawo kwa chanok ran chi luo chimen yik mayoma ke ya cha chwaror man you don't use them anymore ran chi luo ko chi luo support chimen awen akut acha ka chwaror kwal manyang acha chwaror kuine juralo yin ka liberator yin ben Kiir Mayardit yin chubon baindo chubon yin che ben Kiir Mayardit yin rendit de mon jang chol rendit chimet liek rendit ti met liek tin mo jang e rendit wen ti taw ke ben ko ja lui ka mit a chuer e kwa wo junub Sudan kwan na ko na yo ke yen ken e wrong or bi cho bi decree ay kwani yen Kiir Mayardit men wazir le MPs le advisors le governors le commissioners ke Kiir kwany bas e khafir ku jala drivers
Aye
acha ne
kwanya
dictator
u sultan e kwanya sultan e lu recommended fi warap.
Salatin zatu yena nong hak be ya jamsin gal sultan fulana ka kwany ku ngega ka boye commissioner ngega ka boke governor ngega ka boke wale
Welcome back.
yen Kiir May
Moses, what? Moses is muted. Why?
I don't know, Moses, you're muted.
Moses, in here mute.
are ka chen me
Okay, good.
enongra nicha kete enongra nicha yop please
Okay.
don't call me, I'm on live. I will call you back later. This is very important. This is about the future of our country. We need also to say this message in Dinka language because many people that are keeping President Kiir in power, some of them are Dinka.
A majority of the Amonjang Hassan.
That's why we need to say this message. Kaya kulwel yin Ben Kiir in erendit chimet liek. Because Will Chigar and Kalwell 21 years, you have never learned anything from him. Oh, akor ben ye rendit rendit na luel wet kulwel junuba chabe duok tong kaloy peace. But yin a chukor to mayene below, in a chukor tong riak mach peace riak machar be balwa implemented kubo by lenip. Kubunwe rare pir kek kujang to the kurana ban be pur kupir. Yin in a churro chera nechi jong kulwel rancholo tene jur wako. Jula yog yen ki chi tal ba agok go jamena ne jo ma de ben ku jula yin a chin do to agok ka ju cha men
Elo ke to bai.
ku we mon jang ka wa ga che chwet wa a che chwet ngade
Ba ji jura go.
agok yen actually che mon jur chol jong ko re we mon ya jur ko ge Equatoria ku sam jur wa ka chwet agok jur chol a che chwet agok
Ah, ega chwet. But
aja ku
okay.
but
It's all right.
so ye rana chiro ba ko chi jam yen ba wo la chi jam yen agog ring agog cha bu chet bad chwai ke bas ka ba ke ngade
Ka
lel
pe
bor
yo.
a chwai ka ba yo yo chwai ke na agog yo kure ring yin ba Kiir Mayardit yin a re riak machar ku na ko revitalize peace agreement a chen biro yeg legitimacy ku bin decrease a bebe. If you don't want Riek Machar, President Kiir does not like Riek Machar. He does not want Riek Machar, but he wants the revitalized peace agreement.
So yen e cham shor bagok wa chi cham agok.
Yena kor shorba ta revitalized peace agreement ben ron mu ben pir kwa chukor ring a chukor Riek Machar.
Kena legitimacy.
So ka chena mach. Yin ni chi chweda gok.
Oh, really?
Chwai kuring are the same.
Yeah.
So yin ben Kiir na yelwel in the revitalized peace agreement is continuing. Pek chai kun chake deg yin kararat bebe, yin koi kwan, based on revitalized peace agreement, yin lo Riek Machar.
Immediately.
You must release Dr. Riek Machar. We are calling for his release not because we support him, but it is baseless.
To be
It's
arrested.
baseless. Mamukin tagul ana dera shorab ta lam, wana mader akul lam. Riek and revitalized peace agreement are one thing.
Yep.
So that's one point. So in ben na yin koi tol wet kulel ba cha be duok tong ku ban lo sin kuran chin pi lo ke ban mach kuraji tu maini tumaini kana charaj chin koy dom ba banye Kenya yob kulwele ana na korpis banye Kenya koy kok be yob lanu yiran ku tor ba yitol wet jon korina beran lwene ku ban le legrando ko chatorando.
Yeah.
So
Well,
chip Kenya banye Kenya chitol wet kulo banye Kenya koy tol wet di pagani malong yinga leke tol wet kulel baka tumaini aloy ku jot wa tigrot with a good heart kuleke loy betray kureje tumaini ku revitalize peace agreement areje ku yin ban ki reja lwel baja ban baba kum. Where did you get your legitimacy apart from revitalize peace agreement? So you are a dictator because you have not been elected since 2011. You have not been elected by the people of South Sudan. So you are an absolute dictator. And for that reason, yin in abudu panduan by balarir. We don't wish you
I
banangan nagin.
buduk ba bela re tim chok. Tawan
Aja
yen
galarir arir panaman tu balarir by.
begam alam chut.
Ali wachira ne panaman rej. Maya man ku chobe an lopan mama dia or pandia. Okay, yen balarir pande. Junub Sudan does not belong to him alone. So Benkir, Echwar, Quetorolwe, Quachenyin ti de Coinop, Kukake diakaye Mwanjang Bang Kwan. Rane Kwanye Jiang, Rane Jamiyit, Quenyin ti de Coinop, Coinop Kaya Kamuk, Nine Negran Yoboka Kaj, Kulu defend. Wherean when Nalwell wet, Kaleyo, Na Kwan Chogu wet till well Kaleyo today. But Kir is a political liar. He can tell you something today, Nyak Legi Kaloidope. So all the bad policies of President Kiir since 2011 up to now, and the bad political practices are the one that are keeping South Sudan underdeveloped and keeping South Sudan insecure and keeping our people dying of poverty and even treatable disease because President Kiir is not using the power right. Is using the political power, the economic power for his self gain. So yen keen will a ko ya chirio junub Sudan ko ya ched a chi ni chwil chen men den gob ku ko kan e yin ka ni chwil junub Sudan yin ka rio ko yin ka ko nok. Go ahead John Kor so I can conclude ba ko part.
Yeah, just I'm one wala na di fursa na le
Yep,
will attack.
Yeah.
yep.
I'm gonna welcome Wall.
So and I'm going to tell
Will
be ko be ben ku en and
yeah.
ke to plan yen speed den to mo jang kana.
Mm.
Non ke lwel jeng a cha rai gup akor ku buk ber jeng chi ga rai gup kedi e yen kir ke mon jang rai gup ko cha ror
Yeah.
ten ga bail ko ko ye lwel number 3 chi lwel is speed den kini a ye lwel the time for war is over ken akor ku buk la de na ye time for war over when je Uganda be la be.
Mm.
So and am ko ten ku ba ko ba ka pat kir must go yen a liability che ban rendit timet liek.
Indeed, Ustaz Moses. With that, shukran. Dig, thank you, and we welcome Ustaz
Yeah, but
Well.
alang nu tu balaga will attack before gen la.
Go ahead.
طبعا هو هنا انت جيت متاخر. احنا تكلمنا عن موضوع بتاع failure بتاع كير and he brought another failure behind him and he's not taking South Sudan to anywhere. وفي نقطة يوم انت قلت كجلوين موضوع طيارات كي هاي واي بتاع جيش بتاع جنوب السودان ذات ايه. انا كنت I was driving like that's why I did not enter the clubhouse بينكم and I have a details in that one. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I saw you in many rooms talking about issues of South Sudan. Yeah, thank you, and we will continue until we have really change in South Sudan. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you indeed, Ustaz Abdullah. At least this vindicates me because I had been attacked on that day as a liar. I appreciate that. A little bit as we talk, I just want to inform you that I'm slightly under the weather, so I might not be at my best. But I felt like this, given that is another comeback for the concerned citizen of South Sudan to inform the citizen of South Sudan, I felt it is important for me to bring my voice, though I might not deliver much as I would have wished to. However, since the last time we had a conversation with regards to the issues that are affecting our countries, a lot of things have happened. One of them is one Ustaz Abdallah just mentioned, that our gunship were taken to Uganda in the name of being reservists, but they were sold and they are now being rehired from Uganda to be used to defend the territorial integrity or to ensure the rule of law in our country, which is very, very unfortunate. It's hard at this point whether I should continue to call Salva Kiir a dictator or clueless, or of either way, because some of the reasons that actually happened these days portrayed him as a weak leader. And a dictator should be someone strong and should be able to enforce his will.
And failure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As we talk today in South Sudan, if you take your money to the bank and deposit, and after you get the receipt and has to be given back the same amount that you asked, they will not give it to you. They will tell you they don't have the money. If they say if they give you, they will say you'll give you only 100, 200, not more. Even if you deposited $100,000 or £1 million, they'll give you 100,000 instead. Why? The bank doesn't have money. They're just barely living by holding themselves up not to collapse. And why? The country's main revenue is oil, and it has been given to few individuals to sell it on behalf of the country in the name that South Sudan is under sanction. But the irony with this is some of the people that are actually selling the oil have been sanctioned, and our oil is not sanctioned. But they're the ones selling it using the proxies, using their friends in the leagues of corruption to sell it. Last month, these three individuals, not only have they sold, they forged the signature of President Salva Kiir Mayardit to the oil companies, that they sell this one and the money be diverted to their private account in Dubai. And they divided money, this amount of revenue, among themselves. And this means central bank doesn't have money. That means the government officials, national army will not be paid. This is beyond than someone we call a dictatorship. When he got the evidence, that something has gone, he has, why have I been told? I mean, when the central bank came to him and said, we don't even have a penny in the account, they said, what happened to the money? He said, that we don't know. He summoned some of his security agencies to ask where's the money has gone to. They said, the money was taken. I said, why didn't you report to me? He said, well, we've been reporting to you, Mr. President. But the very people that are stealing, they come back to us with hammer and they smash our heads. Either we get dismissed, either we get arrested. So we are feeling insecure. So we are not giving you the information because we are afraid.
Exactly. That's what happened to the governor of Central Bank of the country. Go ahead.
Yeah. And this group of people, they were four. One of them actually took a chartered plane to Nairobi, and is living in Nairobi, flight to Nairobi, now staying there. The rest are surrounding themselves with their groups of arms. So what do we call this one now? It is the disintegration of the system itself. And this has been happening long time. And that's why we do not have the money in South Sudan today. And people are afraid to put the money into their banks accounts, because you will not get your money, you put it in. Now he has lost the reign over the country. The country is controlled by the cartels, and this is very, very destructive to the South Sudanese. And the solution to this is the opposition groups to migrate from their current centers of tribal sentiments and hatred and unite to rescue our country. First, before I forgot, actually I need to congratulate the South Sudan People Defense Force. This one for spoiled son there in the East Africa was threatening that he's going to shut down our border. And it was being baked and it was becoming arrogant. So element of the South Sudan People Defense Force flushed them out from our territory. So Koju is now free of Ugandan Defense Forces and South Sudanese in it. That's his congratulations to the SPLA. Despite that, they're not being paid. The money
That
they
is
get,
good. Very good news.
they are giving it to Ugandan People Defense Force. And our soldiers are not being paid. And they've taken the interests of their country at heart and defend it. I congratulate them and I thank them for their relentless love, commitment to their country. And they might need to extend this one because defending South Sudan is not only limited to the external aggressor, but also the internal aggressor. The Constitution is a responsibility of every citizen of South Sudan, including the army, to defend it from people who are actually destroying it. We've seen a number of occasions that the Constitution is being violated and only used at only when individuals need to service his or her benefits rather than the national benefit or respecting it. The powers vested in the president seem to be exercised only when he is appointing. But when defending it is no longer a case, is isolated, pick and selective of implementation of the Constitution should be disregarded. It should be constituted rather, or translated to a violation of the very Constitution that we are supposed to defend. So the element, this thing is not going to finish. We talked about 4 years ago, and I wrote an article in 2014 that even if you give these people another chance, including President Kiir and his group and the rebellion group together, the result will be the same. The war will continue. Again, about 4 years ago, in 2020 and 2022, I think 2022, 2023, we've talked under this forum that we are not going to see any changes happening rather than worsening situation in South Sudan. And what we have seen indeed, South Sudan is getting worse, and situation in South Sudan gets worse and worse every day. What is required then is an intervention of the people of South Sudan. We are not going to beg this person. We've tried. And the same national army, the security forces, the organized forces in the country, are frustrated the effort of the people of South Sudan to liberate them, because at that time it wasn't affecting them as much as it is today. What am I saying with this before I come that? You remember whenever we hear about the popular uprising being planned, the incidences of unknown gunmen increases, and it tend to target some of the leaders or organizing body, unless they've fled, unless they escaped. And what was causing this is due because of the group within the organized forces that were killing them. Let's put that one aside. Let me come back to this. The current state of South Sudan forces. A soldier, in order to put a food on the table for his daughter and son to eat, or his children to eat, most of them will go and cut wood. Some will go and do some sort of business outside, and that leave our country undefended. They've been mistreated. They've been treated like second citizen in their own home. whereas the foreign army forces are paid 3 times higher than them, like Ugandan Defense Forces. What is required then is for the people of South Sudan, including the army, to join hands together and command back their country. There's no other way. It's not even a popular uprising alone. It's the people of South Sudan need to come together and demand their country back. Situation is not going to improve. It's going to get worse, as we said last time. Last time, people were able to afford drinking water, but now they're not affording it even. And they're not drinking water just from the Nile. Last time, when you go to the market, you could be able to buy something with the few dollars, few pounds of South Sudanese that you have. But today is not possible. It's getting even worse. Today, the central bank and the banks in South Sudan have no money, because central bank is the one that supplies the banks in South Sudan in order for them to continue operating, because the deposit, as most of you may know well, they deposit the bulk of their money into central bank, and they will take the central money from the central bank and put it back to there so that they can keep the people's money. People's money does not exist because central bank, the source has dried, because the oil is sold and the money that is obtained from the receipts of the revenue, oil revenue, is divided by individuals into their pocket, and the remaining that is brought is not sufficient to keep the government running. That's why we don't have the salary for army, we don't have salary for civil servants, we don't have development. Contractors are being paid in crude oil to go and sell and deduct their income. Imagine if you give such a very corrupt businessman to hold Binto in Tatong Manjang and scoop to divide the food among. Do you think he will give fairly? He will not. So, in conclusion, this problem that we are facing today is no longer that Salva Kiir is in control. He has lost the control, and I will not give him the crown of dictatorship as either. I would actually call him have lost the control of the country and should just give us back our country so that we can run it. He is appointing, but is he really appointing? Paul Nang has made effort and fought to retrieve at least 2 gunships back from Uganda that were not yet sold and brought them back to the country. Paul Nang fought to force the contractors that were getting the money and they did not deliver food to the armed forces of South Sudan to deliver food, yet they stole money and they came and removed him from power. Is Salva Kiir without moving? If today you have Salva Kiir, did you surely remove him? He will tell you, I'm sorry, I was misled. Did he punish the people who actually misinformed him? No, they got away with. If you see has President Salva Kiir today, did you initiate the process of getting the person that has forged your signature to the extent that the country lost $200 million? What are you doing about it? He will say, he will not tell you anything. Why? Because President Salva Kiir has grown old, and his mental sharpness has dropped. His cognitive ability has dropped from what he used to be to a deteriorated form, and he's prone to manipulation by the cartels who are stealing and destroying our country. And rescuing South Sudan, we are not rescuing from South Sudan, from Salva Kiir, from these cartels who are actually using him to steal and destroy our country. What I meant by cartel is this: a certain group of the people, the one who are selling our oils and pocket the money, the one actually controlling him, and him himself, who has allowed himself to be used to such a because he doesn't have ability to defend himself so that he can serve the country, become vulnerable to this group. For this regard, I think it will be correct for the citizens of South Sudan to unite and call for return of their country to them. you've mentioned something very important about Riek Machar. I'm of the view if Riek Machar seriously has committed crime as a citizen of the country, he's no different from anybody else. He can face law, but he cannot be held in detention indefinitely. He can either be arraigned in court of law or free, because either way, because the law says if someone is accused, is innocent until proven guilty, he must be arraigned in court within 24 hours and be allowed to get the bail. If this doesn't happen, then that is a violation of the law. So I rest my case here, my fellow United citizen for South Sudan, and may God bless our audience and God bless you.
Thank you.
I'll be muted.
Will attack, for valuable, information actually and discussion. Yeah, indeed. Lanu بلد ده ماشي لمكان ما معروف where he's going. And actually, Salva Kiir himself, he want more destruction for this country. He wants the country to be buried with him. Because if he knows that he's old and he has no ability, and then it would have been, time for him to retire and give it away in a right manner. Not being confused like what Jeff Konenge asked him, walk away. And he said, walk where? He said, walk away. you have done a bit, but he doesn't want to walk away.
He said, what would be my incentive?
Well,
if
you
leave
have been
power?
president for a very long time.
From 20 years,
his incentive that actually have been fought for his people. Supposedly, that's what's supposed to be incentive, to have that pride that I fought for the nation. I fought for the freedom of the people of South Sudan, to have a nation. Like Iran has no. Because that's why Anaguta Gibel, Salva Kiir, you want to make sure it bring the worst of the worst. Ya rate لو كان ده أفضل سيئين يا عبد الله. Like he tried.
Who أسوأ سيئين?
أسوأ سيئين. Like he tried to bring the worst of the worst, not the best of the worst. لأن بولمن هو نايفايل. This is in Arabic will attack, because نايفايل ده in Arabic language يعني follow the subject, whatever subject does, that's what he do also. So Bolmel is not going to be different than Salva Kiir. It's going even to be worse.
Ustad Jonkor, I want to say a few things before I forget concerning the
Go
key
ahead.
point that Ustad has mentioned, Honorable Wall.
I think we have another 30 minutes. Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Honorable Wall Deng Attack, for your submission or your input in this episode. Yes, in South Sudan, President Kiir has destroyed everything. Economically, he has defiled or violated all the theories and economic policies in the world. For example, if you look at monetary policy, that is what you refer to concerning central bank. Central bank, based on the constitution of South Sudan, has been mandated to manage the monetary policy. And Minister of Finance has been given a mandate from the constitution to manage fiscal policy. So, but what happened with the central bank? Instead of appointing credible people to serve in the central bank, that is the mother of banks, because it is the central bank of any country that give license to commercial banks.
Correct.
So in South Sudan, we have more than 14 commercial banks that are under the mother of the banks, that is the central bank. And from all these 14 commercial banks within South Sudan, there is a percentage, could be 20%, 30% of the reserve money that they have in their bank has to be kept in the central bank. And the central bank has to be independent. But right now, the Central Bank of South Sudan, that is called Bank of South Sudan, is not independent. Yani debate between Rais Jumhuriya Zatu Yao Bank. It is President Kiir that is a that's the governor of Central Bank, and his cronies, his inner circle. Yao Biak to Bubas to gold $10 at any time they want it. Lo Salo, why do you need dollars? We can just give you pounds. So gold Haja Jaim and Folk, Menzol Kabir. So these public thieves and looters that are with President Kiir, including President Kiir as the number one looter and number one public thieves in the country.
He's a supervisor of looters.
Yes,
Supervisor of looters.
President Kiir himself has become the governor of central bank. Quais? So Al Guruj Bijibum in Dubai would do bed but all. Quais? They are taken to his house instead of taking the public money to the central bank first. And then every government agency, all the government agencies, these agencies could be a ministry, could be a commission, could be Yan Wazara or a commission or national security or MI, they have to claim the money from the Minister of Finance through legal means. They don't need to go to President's house to be given money. They should follow the right channels. The right channel is, if you are from the Minister of Defense, you go to the Minister of Defense, write a claim, and you come to the Minister of Finance, and they will process, check whether there is a sufficient fund that belong to the Minister of Defense based on the approved fiscal year budget. And that money will be released based on the Appropriation Act. If it is money that is needed for operating, no one should take the money from Chapter 1, that is salary, and use it for operating budgets. The same thing. So these procedures are not being followed by ministries. Arami up to Kirel, they don't follow the right channels. They go direct to President Kir. Kir will say after Sanduk Dak Yib Gurush, Lo, if he likes your face, he will give you dollars. If he doesn't like your face, he will give you South Sudanese pound. Gurush guide is an addict for bet. Fifth president bet in us Gurush cash. Where do you get it in the well if he's not a public thief and a looter? A president should not give you money. He can give directives if in case, and you go to the right agency. If you are from education, general education, you go put in the claim, do the process, send it to Minister of Finance. The Minister of Finance will only write a check. The National Minister of Finance does not have any money. Wazara Malia Mafi Gurush, Ya Junubin. Wazara Malia is managing fiscal policy, dealing with the how to generate revenues and how to plan the budget and how to prepare the budget and how to implement or execute the budget and monitor the budget and evaluate the budget. That has been approved by the parliament as a fiscal year budget. They can only write check and you go to central bank. But when the National Minister of Finance is writing check, people go to central bank, even wilayat, Biktubulom check, they go to central bank with the check that they have received from the Minister of Finance. There will be no coverage in the bank. Gurush mafi fi bank. Kwais, nas lafin be shekat fi Junub Sudan. Wazarat, individual claims, agencies claims. Nas lafin be shekat. People are moving around with the checks, trying to get the money from central bank, but there is no money in central bank. There is no coverage. It is a crime by itself to write a check when you don't have a coverage in the bank. Ways, because somebody will follow the right procedures in the Ministry of Education. A governor would be given a fake check. The coordinator will go to get to central bank with a check to get the money to send to the state. They will tell the coordinator there is no money in the bank. Talk to your governor to wait. How can the governor wait when the governor need money to implement his policies within the state? It is only President Kiir that has 100% access to money, and those of Bolmel and those of his inner circle. I don't want to talk about Bolmel now because Anagari Shufu is not the one I should blame now. It is President Kiir that should be blamed.
No, but we have to stop him. You know, so because he can dream to be president, but the way he dealing, the way he managed now behind the Kiir will not qualify him to be next president or something like that. You
Yeah,
know,
I agree with
people
you.
will
I
have to
agree
say
with
this.
you. I agree with you.
Yes.
We are on one page, Ustaz
Yeah,
Abdallah
because
Gara.
you cannot now. People they don't. Your employee are not getting salaries. There is hunger in the state everywhere. You cannot come on on TV or what wearing 500,000 $500,000
Mhm.
watch. You know, saa be $500,000. You know, so we have to talk about that.
I have.
أنا
Go ahead, Abdullah. I
انا
want.
بتفق مع نحن انا بتفق مع ولا تاكسي كلام قالوا انه كير even is not a level of some dictators because he mentioned that
Mm,
many dictators are able to bring food to the table to their citizens,
mm.
you know. But President Kiir is a failure, because now, like King Jong Un, his country is very clean.
Mhm.
People get educations, hospitals, and everything. The same thing.
Elijah Masai Rain.
Yeah,
You
the
know.
same thing in Libya. Muammar Gaddafi. Even I'm not agree that to call Muammar Gaddafi a dictator, but yes, he was ruling the country with his family. But look how Libya was. Look Syria. But the one we have here is a failure. He is not able to do anything to South Sudan. You know. So I'm agree with brother Walatak. Just he's a failure. Even he is not on the level of some dictatorship. Brother Wol and John Cole and our listeners. So this country is really failed, and for a long time we've been talking what we have to do. And I am encouraging people of South Sudan to take action. If you are afraid not to come to camera like this on Facebook or any clubhouse, you can create a fake name in Facebook. Come and talk. You have to express your feelings. What we can do, how this country go to the next level. You know. ده مسؤولية جماعية نحن كلنا لازم نعمل لها يعني even including ناس بتاع الحكومة ناس اللي قاعدين جوا ما قاعدين يتكلموا. You can create fake Facebook account, and talk, let people know what is going on. النقطة اللي قبل برضو الناس يتكلموا عنه موضوع بتاع رياض مشاع. طبعا في وفد جاي هيجي في يوم 10 ليوم 12 في جنوب السودان. الوفد ده يعني هي من الاتحاد الافريقي جاي يعمل تقييم للاوضاع في جنوب السودان. وموضوع بتاعت انه بلد South Sudan is fell and شريك بتاعت هنا اتفاق السلام قاعد في السجن. So هم جايين. And then I don't know what they will do, you know, because زي ما ولا تاك said قال انه نائب الرئيس قاعد في السجن detain. انت ما عملت له قرار عفيته من منصبه، قاعد في بيته ما وديته محاكم. يعني ده حاجه في نفسه is not encourage security in South Sudan. Salva Kiir fell. He is a problem of South Sudan, and people of South Sudan, they have to go and to make action. They need actions to because if they don't do this, their life will not going to improve. The life of citizens of South Sudan will not going to improve. We will not going to have education. We will not going to have hospitals. Until when? Until when? Since 2005. Until when? I think this is the end, and people they have to come out. مسؤولية جماعية. ناس يتكلم. لأنه كيريان ذات عاريات. كير عاريات. لكن ما لقى بس ناس ما لقى الناس يقدر يواجهوه في وشه. هو بخاف. زول بتردد في قراراته. لكن لما لقى الشعب ضعيف فهو مشى في حاجة هو دايره. أنا ما أعرف يعني. I don't know. I never heard. دولة. I never heard that the country doesn't pay salaries for 24 months, and that country is producing oil. I don't know. I don't know what to say. ده من الفساد.
واللي
زي ما
يقول لك
قال
في حاجه وانا قاعد اللي يقول لك اي دوله في العالم the president and the vice president will host a chief of staff of other country, chief of staff of the army. يعني دولة بيعمل host president of the country and vice president of the country, they will host the chief of staff of the army of other country. وين حصل وين؟
مشكلة بس الشيف الستاف بتاع نفس الجيش، الشيف الستاف حقه جاي الآن أنت قاعد تستقبله، نفس الجيش القاعد يقاتل قواتك في الحدود. Now I'm talking to you, South Sudanese citizens, plus who volunteer from SSPDF and SSPDF, they are fighting Uganda in Kajikaji. انت كيف بتستقبل هنا قائد الجيش اليوغندي بالورود؟ وقبل يومين انت استقبلت يعني جنازات او هنا يعني استقبلت جنازات ناس ماتوا في كجي ماتوا برصاصه بتاعت القوات اليوغنديه. I don't know what is going on in South Sudan. ما في دولة بيديروا كده يا جماعة، ما في دولة بيديروا كده. عشان كده الناس لازم يتكلموا. People they have to talk. People they have to go outside. Talk loud.
ولا مونجي نالويل كل كاكوما ده كل
لا ده ما في حاجة اسمها
مونجي they have problem.
they
have problem.
ما في حاجة اسمها حكومة ده. مونجي كويكا دايرين حكومة كويس في جنوب السودان. ده الحاجة دايرينه. ما في حاجة اسمه ده حكومة ده. حكومة ده كيف وانت جيعان؟ حكومة ده كيف وانت ما قاعد تمشي مستشفى؟ حكومة ده كيف وران مباني الزول اللي بيدير الدولة عياله قاعدين برا؟ ما في حاجة اسمها حكومة. واي زول مثلا داري يعمل كريتيسايز لحكومة ما يقول زول ده لانه هو ما من جين وما دايرين بولميل. نو ما في حاجة زي ده. اي زول في حركة شعبية عنده الحق انه يحلم يكون رئيس او يكون نائب رئيس مع البولميل. الليوايان عنده رايت. اي زول عنده الرايت انه يتكلم ويقول راي، لكن ما يصنفوه يقولوا.
Bolmel need to stop to behave like
هو عنده حق يتكلم عنده حق يتكلم في بولميل.
And Bolmel is eating in the same dish with President Salva Kiir, but none of them are seeing each other's hands, but they're eating the same dish. People they
have to talk. People they have to talk. But then when you're talking ما يقيموك يقولوا انت من القبيله الفلاني ولا من الاقليم الفلاني. ده ما طريقه ان احنا ممكن ندير بها الدوله.
Ustaz
انا
Abdullah.
اقول لحد هنا
Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap
I
it
would
up.
like
5
to
minutes,
add
5 minutes,
something.
5 minutes, 5 minutes. عشان نعمل له wrap up. Okay.
Okay.
Exactly, that's what I want to say. Thank you.
Okay. No.
Yeah, let me say that Ustaz Honorable World Attack, thank you. I just want to add a point to your call. You have called all the opposition group to unite, and this is the way forward. Of we can talk about all the bad policies and bad political practices of Salva Kiir for days, and will never come to a conclusion.
Yes.
But I believe that if all the opposition groups, whether you are a movement or a political party, if we come together, that is our call, and this is the way forward, in our view, as concerned citizen and the people of the members of the United Citizen for Change. We agree with you, Ustaz Wall, 100%. Overthrowing a dictator like President Kiir has always been a daunting task. It has never been an easy thing around the world. The way they overthrow Saddam Hussein, the way they overthrow all the dictators around the world, it has never been an easy task. It cannot be done by Honorable Pagana Mom alone. It cannot be done by Ustaz Wall Attack alone. It cannot be done by General Malone alone. It cannot be done by Stephen Boy alone. It cannot be done by General Thomas Cirillo alone. And for that reason, we in the United Citizens for Change, we call upon all the opposition group. Let us unite. It doesn't matter who is leading us as opposition. If we are being led by UPA leader, we are happy if we can work together and overthrow this dictatorial regime. This dictatorial regime can be kicked out because you see now all the dictators around the world, they cooperate among themselves. That's why they stay in power for many years. This is why President Kiir is cooperating with Museveni, another dictator.
Mhm.
Why, as an opposition, why are we not cooperating and working together to help and change um, this authoritarian regime? So here we call upon the UPPA, Honorable Pagana Mom, with his group. We in United Citizens for Change, we are open to join any force. And since January, we wrote a letter to UPPA, to General uh, um, Pagana Mom and those of Malong. We want to work together. No one group can change this dictatorial regime. Lano Nazel Indum Grush, Windum Sila. What we have is the mandate of our consciousness that is helping us to stand up and talk against this regime. يعني الضمير بتاعنا يا بدينا بخلينا نتكلم لما تشوف جنوبي جعان، جنوبي ما عنده مهية، جنوبي عيان، جنوبي تعبان، ظروف، ناس قاعدين في دول المهجر، ناس في ريفوجي كام، ناس في يونمس، لا لاقين أكل، لا لاقين موية، لا لاقين دواء. ده ضميرنا ما بخلينا ننوم مرتاحين، ده بخلينا نتكلم ونقول الحكومة ده يا جماعة لازم يمشي. وده يا بخلي الناس زي أخونا مكيم أقر وتريزا وإدوارد تشيك وباقي ناس، ده يا بخلينا نتكلم لأنه حكومة ده لازم يمشي، وعشان يمشي لازم نشتغل مع بعض. We must unite as an opposition so we can have a political weight عشان يكون لنا ثقل سياسي والشعب يثق فينا. People could trust us, the citizen, and the foreigners even who want to help us can know that we have united as an opposition and we are speaking with one voice. But لو خلينا Salva Kiir to play us, to deal with the Pagan Barrow, we deal with Malong Barrow, with Thomas Cirillo Barrow, Sunday John Barrow, what are we doing? We need to come together as an opposition. We in UCC, nanu mata main le sultan. John Core is our chairperson. He is even happy to work under Wall Attack, under Malong, under Thomas Cirillo, under Pagana Mom. It doesn't matter. We want to rescue our country. We have to come together. The UPPA should and must be expanded. It must be expanded. Lano, the Tumaini initiative has died. So that's not the end of the world. We should move as an opposition, as one body. And in that way, we will give hope to our people. So that's what I'm calling for. I'm calling for UPPA to expand itself and include everyone. I'm calling them to reach out. We are calling also for General Thomas Cirillo. Let us unite forces so we can rescue our country and liberate our people from this dictatorial or dictator Salva Kiir Mayardit and his group that are looting the country and selling the country to Uganda and to other foreign forces. With this, I will stop here and I will say that President Kiir, yin ke lit eko rio Junub Sudan, yin ke chok, ke mi da jit kat. Citizens are afraid of you. Number the last point, ayeki lwela we monjang we gacha rai gop. Yin bankir achin monjang chi rai gop. E yin ke chi monjang rai gop. For 20 years jeng akaji ko. Ke yin ke chi rai gop jube jal banyi. Acha lwelon 4 years ago, ya lwela ndid monjang on any baba de tinga e cham. Aduoga ye god de nom ke ye god acha aduoga chok. Ashan be cham the both koi kok big la yo ke clean. Monjang ache cham arwat chimen cham chem in by in kir cham in by ache cham monjang. Queen ranchi gordo mine ranchi gordo mine nyicheng monjang. Mi da ye bodu mitku bodu mit koi kok. Kichat dak bi log loy development ache lewina. Bol mel ku yin ku chok we bay 100 people like you cannot develop South Sudan. Yes, you have liberated the country, but what we need now is development. Liberation, you need development. You need food on the table. You need to pay people salaries. People need to be free. Ugandan army should be taken out of South Sudan because they are killing South Sudanese. In Kajikeji, in Equatoria, they are killing our people. In Nasser, in Ulang, they are killing our people. Ugandan army must go out of South Sudan. That's what we are calling for. Kuyin Bankir, Richino Mari, even Monjang. Garchi Gatawinom Kag. Achika Chuaror. Ranteo Kainom, Achika Chuaror. Thank you.
Thank you, Moses. Like you to pay my brother. Namchile Usad Wall, come on another 5 minutes, and then Usad Abdullah Garam 5 minutes, and then we will conclude. Yazolo Garno will become a joke, you know. Lano become a joke. Lano Koji Gornim that they are the one messing up the country right now as we speak. So Usad Wall, go ahead with your last point.
Thank you, Usas Moses. You touched very important points that I might not go back to them. To illustrate my point, I want to give you an example of the documentary that I've watched over the weekend. It was about Algiers. Algeria. Algeria is one of the countries in Africa, just like South Sudan, depending on the oil and gases exports. And I was surprised to discover that the government pay you for having made an initiative to go to school. Give you money because you go to school, whether you're rich or you're poor, use the money to say thank you for going to school. Social benefits is going on. But here in South Sudan, we are exporting the oil, and the oil is not benefiting our people. If anything the citizens of South Sudan have gotten from our oil is the pollution. that come with adverse repercussions, such as infertility. The population in that area, producing area, means they are not going to produce more children they used to, because barrens result from the oil exposure. Our soldiers who have been deployed come all over the South Sudan to go and guard and defend the oil are also affected, and they will come back with that effect of the chemical exposure that are withdrawn. There is cancer, both the skin and internal organs cancer that can be caused. And our water level is not as far as other places, not deep. You just dig and you just get the water, and that level that infiltrated by the chemical. And we do not have the proper sewage system within the South Sudan. That means when the flood comes, all the exposure will be spread all over the country. And that have a long, disastrous repercussion on our people. This is what we get from the oil. What we get from the oil are individuals that looting up the country and left us with no money, no salary, nothing with all this. Whether you are in the government of the Republic of South Sudan, whether you are supporting of the government of South Sudan, whether you're opposed to it, we are all affected by one or another way or another. We are losing the future of our country because now, as we have the Ugandan forces coming into our country, during the time of Paul Nang, they were limited to Nasitu. But for the last 3 weeks, they have been coming into the Juba area with their tanks, the military armor, and they drive around until 4 a.m. sometime before they go back. What this means, they are collecting intelligence, and they're mapping the areas of South Sudan, the terrain within Juba. And who knows, they may install anybody they wanted to be a leader. And these are the people that are highly paid of the revenue that has been hidden away by the thieves of South Sudan. Paid them salary, and the National Army not paid. Are you benefiting from it? No. What do we need? There's nothing in a country that can come, or anywhere in the world, that can actually make itself. Someone has to do something. During the liberation struggle, when we were unhappy with the government of the Sudan, someone had to pick up the arm and fought. Someone has to sit with the Khartoum government to negotiate the agreement. And someone had to implement that agreement. And lastly, someone had to vote in order for us to have what we call Republic of South Sudan today. The same thing, while we recognize and honor the sacrifices President Salva Kiir and the group, including Jeshamar, had made to liberate the country of we have today, we are not obliged to allow them to destroy what is already being achieved by the people of South Sudan. Whether you are in the government, whether you are outside of it, you need to fight for the future of our children. Because today, South Sudanese child who do not have opportunity to be educated in the Eastern African countries or in the foreign nations do not have much opportunity to compete on equal basis with the people outside the world, because the level of exposure and the quality of education that has been provided is near zero. You've seen our graduates celebrating the success upon their graduations. You see what they say and what they write and how they express themselves. This tells you the future of this country is doomed. In conclusion, I want to call on the oppositions and the South Sudanese in the government. Please join hands for the sake of our country, not for the sake of the political divide. The citizens of South Sudan, including our organized armed forces, let's unite and rescue our country. I'll stop here. God bless you. God bless South Sudan.
Thank you, Ustaz Wal. And Ustaz Abdullah, I want to give you that also to make a final.
Thank you, brother Janko. Yeah, we've been here almost 2 hours and 30 or 2 hours and 20
minutes. Yeah.
In my conclusion, I want to say that to people of South Sudan, who we are talking with them in these 2 hours, Kir is a failure, and he is a problem of South Sudan. No any other. We cannot blame other people. We cannot blame other countries because the problem inside of us, inside of South Sudan. Like I mentioned before, the head of the train must be changed for South Sudan to go forward. Second, we as UCC, United Citizens for Change, we calling for release of for Riyad Machar because he's still vice president. Salva Kiir, he's still vice president Salva Kiir Mayardit. We are calling for his release. Number three, Ugandan army, like Moses said, must leave South Sudan, whether they are in Nasser or in Kayikayi or where they are. We can't pay for foreign military to come and kill our citizens. And we have our own military, SSPDF. Instead to pay for SSPDF, now we are paying Ugandan military to come and kill our people, kill our brothers, taking our land. Ugandan military must exit South Sudan. And last, South Sudan will not be a stable country if Kir is still on the power. And I am invite people of South Sudan, think twice, take actions for tomorrow, for the future of the next generation. God bless you. God bless South Sudan, and have a good night, good morning, where you are. Thank you very much.
استاذ عبد الله، استاذ موسى، ثانك يو سو ماتش. انا داير نشكر الناس اللي حضروا برنامج اليوم في كونسيرن سيتيزن اوف ساوث سودان. كويس جبن بيبان داي اوف كورس كويس باي بي اشي وما دا كويس لويل استاذ ولا تاك استاذ موسى استاذ عبد الله كغبن لو سب مصلحه باي كو زي ما كان لويل لا باي اشي بانداو ورودو جين تو باي واجوتين والن 64 tribe كنوير مكون اساسي لبندا بن جنوب السودان. We cannot say that we can isolate Nuer or we can kill them. No one in Junub Sudan can get rid of the other. That is not an option. The option that we have is to learn how to live together. Burunyar, kuburunye chieng, kubugan yibin terbezno. Tachi Nuer, tachi ne Riang Machar can leader then. Tachi Nuer now Riang Machar and Hanma Riang Machar chawi. Like Bakeranda. No, it's not up to you. It's not up to me. Randen chi wich kwe randen wich be a leader then. Ashan Nuer ben terbezno biya mawjud ko Riang Machar must be there. It's reality. You cannot do anything about it. Chel we got like masal kan. And we ko west we ke sanction loy. Then ko den wola lo sanction. Malonga won lo sanction. Ibol mela lo sanction. Inga dia lo ko jwa be fi ko lo ima ko lo da lo sanction. Eke ban ki mu bay. Kire Kir Mayar ne ban. Unchi Kir Mayar lo sanction. Ko ay lo ke sanction ni Peter Gadet war ay lo sanction. Riang Machar ka lo sanction. Why? Because Ashan Boko Bigalo follow in politics, that is art itself. If you manage, for people to follow you, that means that actually you are a charismatic, you have your own art. So Kir Mayar wede ling monjengene lu follow, kumonjeng ajut bae. That's why in America chene lu sanction. Ele rangana win monjeng, okay, let's deal with it. Riang Machar win okay, let's deal with it. Any chike lu sanction. But it would be wise to in leader, you know. They ma chiok masala gok chiok lo na chem ngin ba lo yan ka chwa ya gok ka ke ywe kwa gok chi chwet. At the end of the day you end up, you know, and yan ke bin chwa ya gok bin ke yop. So chem ngin ba jai ba lo yang ma chara cha wi. At the same time, river chala peace agreement gane e re din chi yin jel legitimacy ba ban. E chi yin legitimacy ba lang shar'iyya fil bai. So chiro loy nen chiro loy. Okay, so we don't have any option. The which open can be a quiz. Again, I could well, like either we pungaliu. Lan we are pung we got pung we got chipping we right now. We'll go, oh, meet Kako do Kalako. Watch meet, by the way, what are in 40s? Okay, cooking ye cannot ye mar. Kurani lue cheriot, and Kyo jam, Lana Jenny could well. Could I you ran Arioy and Arioy can a Jenny well in Biet? Like in land in it, in well, in cheriot. And each fini hai ben ai a chingi biri ai al bela toj benin ko chi bela tagaj lal be the chaja kolar. See, so masail ka bin kulo shan be bai bi a quiz a week chi mon chi wol chene lwel ko chi Moses Abdallah garang chi lwel. You need to revisit lore dear ko lore ben ai lor kan chak dear pay lor chi ko chwe lor chi ngudi low power and all these things lor kan a little ben ai. And you can look na ban gina chak we aji ban na mal we aji mal we aji grije chak nap e ngodat chingi ben ga wi a lir ba wi ba ko yen lir tini nyore chan be pana bela twen ku bug bena proud da wa lang bai o yak jam gala a chingi wi ko mi ko ara school e wa cham wi bat kad yak. We don't have any problem. Choga bene ko ro ko ket mi we are fi west we are here we got ben we are the we again ba ben mu chi ben. How many people ke chi jamalang kun wenu keko Isaiah Abram keko I dong Samuel keko I bolden keko I garanga ko wenu I knock ning masi genchila. Okay, lanin kun jel wel na to yugi ni ka chi ngi inia enemy yourself hatta ke pe duel man kui a chi wuj ba ping zato chi wuj ba ping you become more selective, you have a selective hearing. But I know there's a UCC, there's a concerned citizen of South Sudan. There's a lot of issues we are concerned. We are concerned about Panda. We are concerned about our country. And that's why we keep doing this. We keep doing this, and we will continue to do this. But one thing that I know of, Abdallah Chilwelun, and I know Kirarioj for sure. Sudan or opposition, because opposition are not united. Because everybody will feel his own ego. And I was a historic leader. I fought for this country, and I am well recognized in East Africa. I'm well recognized within the country. I'm a dole. هم جداد في السياسة ما بيعرف حاجة. ده بيذكرني مثل تازول في كتاب المقدس. قال مشي في هيكل عشان يصلي. اوكي. طبعا هو كان زول غني. قال يا رب انا بدفع ضرائب ان ويا توبين كوي غونغنا يا كون انا بساعد ناس انا بيعمل وانا بصلي وانا كده.
John Corey was a parasite.
Yes. And then he said, Amarane along with Nalirani Rockana. Dangana Chirana Chingraka Yen and Taban, Wudiku, in a Kaikon Rangana Chiran Torwar, or Linkichulo with your Taban Sakat. You know, Queen and Langra and Queen. I'm around on the scheme. Ellen Yalik. A word Jachaloy, Palkapinian. Queen real. Okay, and a tie black. This is what we say. We speak the word of truth. In Nyalik, Panda, Ariak, Panda, Alokariak. I'm a quite go Tapan war, we deserve this, we deserve that. What is our incentive? Would you have been loy? A Salawanga Chinaligam. Of course, I know around Chinali teach the Piandeben. Okay, Chinali teach the Piandeben in Chinaligan. So, my brothers in opposition, Kada chugluel for very long time. In 2017, waren Jamogon unification, in Kuala united, you guys united just and called something called, Sawa. I remember. It was because of us, because we push it harder. We push it harder in social media. Innu opposition must unite. And you did that, but it didn't go anywhere because everybody was thinking about the share of the lion. I am the biggest opposition. Everybody must be under me. But you must like we're gonna we don't care. We need fairness in Kuchu. Okay. Then Sawa was it didn't go anywhere because everybody was competing. And same scenario continue because everybody looking always for their own interest. Selfishness. And this selfishness will not let us do what we want to do to liberate our country from the mess that is in. Yes, we liberate ourselves from Jalaba. By Jalaba, we need mental liberation too. Because what we have now, we have to liberate ourselves to make a right decision in the country. But if we are not united, if you are so selfish about ana plan, ana malonga wana ana yazul kede wana ya harapta, ana pagana moma na kunti yomda, yidal yumna le juk Dr. John, ama del sugar, del mabia, del just advocates, dol dinaida. That's not going to take you anywhere because you need these people. We need to be together. And that's what it is. If you have not learned so far from the mistake of the past, all of you have not learned from what had happened in the past, I don't think so you will learn anymore. And I don't think so we will be delivered. Because on 2013 incident, Riek Machar waited for G10 so they can be a delegation, but they refused because they did not want to associate themselves. On 2017, we advocated to unite. And they unite a little bit, and then all of a sudden they disintegrated. And again, Tumaini, and then revitalized. And then the delegation with the IO went to Nairobi and said, no, man, we don't need this. You don't even talk about our leader, Riek Machar. Don't even talk. When those other oppositions in Nairobi, when they were saying that Riek Machar is in confinement, he need to be released and all these things. And then the delegation to IO, who gave you mandate to talk about our leader? We are fine. We are okay. At the end of the day, what happened? They end up being put in jail. They end up being thrown out by the same government that they were saving. Why? Because of selfishness. And also those who were in Tumaini there, because they were just pushing other people around. Oh, we don't need this. You know what? We got this. It's just us. What happened now? So we need to learn at Junubin. Let us learn, leaders of opposition. Let us learn the mistake. Come together. If you come together, you will win. But if you are not together, awan you can talk to a dom. And that's what happened. That's what he's doing to everybody. Because you are not together. And if you are not together, and that's what it does to see how, if you are brave or not. And then if you do good, and then will get you. But if you hold
Salva Kiir Mayardit is buying nas beta region kulu.
Yes.
Petrol is buying everybody.
Yes.
But not as a group.
They will not.
As a now Jala Keg, Nairobi 10 to Maini, a quick to Nomtino, to Tartino, to Choktuno.
This is the reality. عشان كده موسى أنا بقول selfishness. حب النفس كل زول ده نفسه بيشوف نفسه أحسن. أنا يا متعلم، أنا يا فاهم، أنا يا حربته، أنا يا. It will not take you anywhere. It will not. Unless, because when you are a leader, you have to have empathy. You have to aspire others to become leaders too. That's the quality of leadership. Like if you want to be here all the time, I want to be leader all the time, I'm a dole, no. You're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to go anywhere. So, I will tell you, I don't know. This is what needed, and you need to do that. And then if you don't do that, and then we are not going to go anywhere. You know, we are not going to go anywhere at all. Shifter. So Riek Machar must be released. Riek Machar has to be released. And because this is the right thing. Okay. With this, I really, really appreciate you and thank you for, watching tonight. Next time, inshallah, with another new episode with concerned citizen of South Sudan. Shukran, Ustaz Moses. Shukran, Renata Hadro. Please go ahead and share our live episode until we meet again. Thank you. Have a lovely night.